Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And with me today is a special in-studio guest who will be joining me today and tomorrow. This is the man, Drexel. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much. Glad to be here. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate being here.
Yeah, so if you don't remember, of course, I got some people who are they're a little upset, right? They're a little salty, a little bit upset that I would dare stand up for Vic Mignogna when he's supposed to lay down and die and forget that he's a person and all of that stuff. And so they have taken to going ahead and just flagging my Twitter. So I was sadly unable to announce any of this today. Oh, should I show them the tweets? Should I show the tweets?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to see? Banned? You want to see the abuse that was suffered at my hands that merited a 12-hour ban? A 12-hour ban. Let me find these. Give me a second to pull these up.
Pull them up.
Do I have something? It's playing. Let's see. Where's my? Where is it? I hate it.
It was right next to you.
Yeah.
Right there.
But it's not on my phone for some. Okay. Let me just send them to myself. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this great.
Put it up to the camera.
No, I'll pull them up. Guys, I can't express how sorry and remorseful I am for the vicious abuse that I unleashed on the poor little girl that was suffering at my hands. Hold on here.
It is.
Here we go. Just a second. We've got. So here's the first one. It says, this is me tagging a bunch of people who are in the thread, obviously. I've said nothing slanderous, you disgusting worm. You think a false report to the bar would be smarter? You must be a true moron. Very abusive. Very, very abusive. What's the next one?
I'd report you. You're a bad person, man.
I am. Well, I know that. Here's another one. So again, reminder to those out there who are confused by this. This person is threatening my livelihood by saying they will report me to the bar, and I am responding to them. Okay? You make those pleadings under oath, idiot. I have no attorney-client relationship with you and am not involved with litigation with you. You don't understand misconduct. I wouldn't recommend lying under oath. That's actually pretty good advice. Pretty good advice.
You got a flag for it.
And then one more. Good Christ, you're embarrassingly dumb. That's abuse to Twitter sometimes. Sometimes, guys.
Oh.
That is... Those 3 tweets are what got me suspended for 12 hours. I've had people threaten me. I've had people threaten my children. I've had people threaten my job. I said someone was dumb. Dumb.
Hate speech. It's hate speech, man.
It is.
It's hate speech.
It is a little bit.
You hate stupid people.
I do. So my Twitter account will be restored in approximately 1 hour. I have appealed it. I assume they'll get to my appeal sometime in the next 45 days.
Josh S. Disgusting worm. True moron. You are Hitler. You are, man. You might be worse.
Definitely worse than Hitler for those. I mean, do you know the emotional trauma that person went through?
I'd rather be in the gulags than called disgustingly dumb. A true moron. Wow.
Okay, so as you may or may not know, this is Drexel. He was with me on the 10,000 subscriber stream. He'll be with me tomorrow for the 15,000 subscriber stream. And I guess we'll have to wrap in like 20 and 30.
Yeah. I was on CPT. I was on Color People time. So I was supposed to be here for the 15,000. But to be fair, we did have storms though.
Yeah, we did have a storm. God was against it. God was so against me having him in studio that he sent a bunch of white stuff to prevent him from coming. And that was...
I painted all the snow black.
Well, yeah.
I wanted black. These people are ridiculous.
A little bit racist.
Right?
So, of course, there are... Every couple weeks, whenever I comment on a public case that I take a position on that is actually in some sort of discussion, people bring up a very old picture, and I have to explain to them, no, the person I dressed up as wasn't offended, doesn't care, you don't get to tell them what offends them, all of that stuff. This is the guy that I dressed up as. We'll be addressing this more fully tomorrow. Tonight, we're reading the Covington Kid lawsuit. And I brought in an expert on... Because, you know, the Covington Kid, horrifically racist, right?
Very. And don't forget the veteran Native American elder who couldn't remember anything about the war.
How dare you? He's traumatized by...
He's a shaman. And he's a shaman who can't remember anything about the war. Literally nothing. Yeah, I guess that's a thing now.
Yeah. No, so what that he wasn't old enough to be in Vietnam?
Correct.
I mean, that doesn't matter, right? Because he was there.
The dude did have a serious jawline, though. I'm talking the white kid.
Yeah.
His jawline, his smirk.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't make the Gillette commercial, but he's all right.
It's too bad that
it's toxic.
That smirk is so offensive to people. Because it was a good one. It was a good smirk.
Very good.
So, this will be... This will be some sort
toads. They remember our Battletoads remarks.
Yeah, the Battletoads. Oh yes, of course, our claim to fame. This is our...
That's our claim to fame.
We beat Battletoads two-player. Don't.
Klinger Winger lives matter.
They don't. They don't at all.
No,
not for me.
Not for two-player. Not for second player, man.
Okay, we got a couple chats, and then we'll get into this document. We are going to read through it. Maybe we'll take turns reading like paragraphs or something, sort of like I do with the Greer streams. We're gonna tackle this thing. And again, I don't think you realize how much of an expert on racism the Covington Kids attack Smollett.
That's classic. That's classic.
I mean, Drexel is a Berkeley graduate in intersectional feminist racial studies.
I am. Well, I mean, now you know, because I'm wearing a fuchsia colored shirt, I am a masculine presenting transgender lesbian, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get right into the Covington Kid, and tomorrow's show, we're gonna go in on Jussie Smollett.
Yeah. Are we going to go in on Jussie Smollett as hard as his cellmate's going to go in on Jussie Smollett?
Oh, they're going in. They're going all the way in. They're going in. Wow, it's deep. And it's bad, man. I almost feel bad for the guy, but no. The black community, we excommunicated him, man. We revoked his black card. Yeah, we got a right to do that.
So wait, is Jussie Smollett now in blackface?
Ooh, yeah, because he just got mixed kid problems. I don't know. I mean, he can go blackface. I mean, it won't matter.
Well, I think since you revoked his black card, but he's still presenting as black.
That's right. He presents as black. So his ethnicity is they call it ethnofluid. You can be gender fluid, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's ethnoflexible.
So if he and Dolezal get married, perfect.
Oh, I'm glad you brought her up. I have a very different view on.
We
Rachel
talked
Dolezal.
about it last time.
She deserves the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, that's what she said.
And I'm not saying that in jest either. I honestly believe that she deserves the Nobel Peace Prize.
So you're not mad that a white woman took the job of someone at the NAACP?
Nope. Nope. Because for everyone that's listening and watching out there, so the term paradox, right?
Yeah.
No one defines paradox as a living embodiment better than Rachel Dolezal because she couldn't get to where she wanted to be with her white privilege. Thus, she did more to help blacks as a white woman masquerading as a black woman because she was rejected for being white than the black community helped black people who are already black. So, by definition, that's a paradox.
She's the ultimate white savior then.
She is akin to what's his face, Sam Worthington in Avatar.
Yeah.
White man comes and everyone's saved. Yeah.
Well, and because she's a woman, she doesn't have the problem. Like, because if
she's Mary Sue.
If a dude,
she saved black people.
It's
Mary Sue.
But if a white dude did it, it'd be a problem.
Correct. He's
like if Sean King did it.
Oh yeah, is that the dude the white dude who claims to be black?
No, he's definitely black. What are you talking about?
Look, it's starting to get crazy. Look, man,
the man's black like a boiled egg.
It's getting ridiculous with the whole everyone claims to be something. I feel this way this day. I don't care about your feelings at all, not even a little bit.
That's rude.
Yeah, I know. That's why I do it. So the Sean King dude, clearly a white dude.
Yeah,
clearly a white. Now he's not as obvious as the transgender in GameStop, who was quite obviously a she, a her, it's ma'am. And it's like, back up.
I didn't tell you, when I worked at Circuit City.
Remember those days?
I worked at Circuit City. I'm like 16, 17.
I remember that.
And there was a large ma'am. There's a large ma'am browsing the CD section. And I didn't even look at the leather jacket and like the jean skirt.
Of course not. Why would you?
I just walked up because it's my job, right? Go up and make sure people are doing okay. And I walked up, and as I'm about to get up to the woman, you remember Josh Maestri?
I do.
Yeah, so he grabs me, and he's like, yanks me to the side. He says, What are you doing? She'll eat you.
Oh, no. Oh, no. So... let me get this straight. So you have the trans person, and I'm sure person, they don't identify as a person. They identify as a basketball today, so I'm sure that offended somebody. So the trans person, what happens? I mean, like, do you say anything? Do you do anything? Do you say
no. This was back in this would have been late 90s still.
So yeah, that would have been, you'd been like, this would have been 99.
Yeah.
Yeah, 99, 98, 99.
Yeah, it was my first year at Circuit City.
Okay.
So it would have been early time. So, I mean, Josh Maestri grabbed me. And then, of course, I went over and said, do you need anything? He goes, no.
Yeah, you know what? Just leave them be. Leave them be. I was just in Portland and saw one of those people.
One of those people in Portland?
Yeah.
I
know that's hard to believe in a Nordstrom's. Now I will say this though. I do give I respect the trans community, and I do give transgendered, I guess that's women, right? Yeah, male to female transgender people. I will give you props and call you. I'll address you by your proper pronoun if you look and sound the part.
So not Fallon Fox.
Is that the dude who's like beating up on chicks in UFC? I mean, I said dude.
Busting orbits.
Yeah. You busted an orbital bone. That's a man. Let's just keep it a buck. That's a man.
Is Cyborg a man? I don't know.
No, but hold on.
I actually don't
know. Cyborg just got knocked out by Amanda Nunes. Bad.
Nunes can throw hands.
Yeah, and her girlfriend likes that. Or her wife. Yeah, she's actually married though. She's married to chick. Like she's all dude.
Yeah.
In terms of her persona. But good for her. Congratulations.
I'm glad she found happiness.
Very feminine happiness.
Too bad she didn't find happiness.
She did not. Bad.
Okay, these are bad jokes. Okay, right. So we're gonna read. I'm gonna read these chats real quick, and then we're going to go through the document, and we'll switch off.
Let's do it.
The document starts here.
Does Blair White get a pass?
And here are the two. Here are the two lawyers. Look at those charming gentlemen who are representing the Covington kids. L. Lynn Wood and Todd V. McCurdy. Oh my goodness. My burping here. Monsta Slaya says, when is Jim from The Office going to be held accountable for spreading his toxic white smile? I mean, yeah, John Krasinski, that guy's got to go. Super Iron Bob says, wait, why is Nick in blackface again? That happened.
White supremacist.
TLJ Screwjob says, just watched the 10K sub special with Drexel on. Well, good. Now it's perfect. You're all caught up. Keck7 Go. Am I seeing double? 2 blackface lawyers.
It's classic.
That's the hashtag that they're trying to stick to me on Twitter. Hashtag blackface lawyer.
Wow.
But the funny thing is that like these people don't understand that you may be
technically you were brown face.
Right, and not even a good shade.
Not even a good shade of brown.
That's like Hershey chocolate shade.
Yeah, it was Dookie shade. It was Dookie shade brown.
That's what you get for a Walmart $3 tube.
Is that where you got it?
Yeah.
Corporation.
Of course, Walmart was racist, not me.
Well, yeah, they obviously didn't respect my fellow brown and black people for having proper shades of brown and black represent proper blackface on white males.
Well, they were. I can't say that joke. I forget that I still can't say some jokes. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later. Because YouTube doesn't let me say the joke that I wanted to just say.
They demonetize you?
Well, that joke might have got me thrown off.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just tell you later.
Wait,
it's fine.
YouTube's not a free speech platform?
No.
Really?
Oh, no. They throw people off like...
I know that, fool.
Yeah,
I know. I've heard stories that people getting just...
Oh, so I talked about this yesterday, though. So yesterday I had a furry porn artist on by the name of Bonitis. He draws furry porn.
Oh, draws, not participates?
Yeah, no. He draws it. That's
too bad.
He's an extremely talented artist, but he draws only human genitalia on anthropomorphic animal characters. He will not do artwork with animal genitalia.
Isn't it considered bestiality?
I don't know. He just doesn't like that. So that's his thing. But anyway, so we were talking about my video last night did get demonetized.
Based on what? On what grounds?
They don't tell you.
What?
Oh no, they never tell you. So, but here, I knew it would get demonetized because we were talking about pedos in the furry community, because the furry community is dealing with some serious pedophilia issues.
Yeah, so is Hollywood.
Yeah, of course. So, but here's the funny part. At the end of the show, we talked about how YouTube just got tagged because Disney and Nestle and Epic Games all pulled all ads off of YouTube because they found out that a bunch of pedophiles were monetizing softcore pedo porn by having clothes on underage girls, like dancing and making out and stuff like that. And pedos were using those videos to network with other pedos.
I see, yeah.
And YouTube wasn't demonetizing this stuff with millions and millions of views. So they were running Disney ads on pedo porn. And that stuff was passing. But if you talk about it, if the algorithm catches the word pedophile and pornography or whatever, like this will probably get demonetized.
I heard you view music in background, right? Was that the secret?
There's no secret.
Oh, is it?
For the algorithm's getting better every day.
Is it? Oh, okay. Man. Thought we had them.
But so it's ridiculous. It's definitely not a free speech platform. Mithran Emrys says, you aren't a real lawyer in Minnesota. It's not like you can just search you. Oh, wait. 0397061. Don't dox me. Don't dox me.
Classic.
Andrew War Snowboard says, gentlemen, start your Drexel toads. Mithran Emrys again says, did you see a USA Today editor actually apologized for editing a college yearbook that had a picture of someone in blackface? She didn't do it, just edited it, but warranted a full apology post.
What?
So,
is this how crazy it's gotten?
Yes. Now, we gotta save the blackface talk. Has to be tomorrow.
I know.
It has to be. I know. It's.
We'll save it.
So save your blackface questions tomorrow. We will cover all. We will educate the world on the offensiveness and the serious contrition and apologies of all people, of all blackface wearers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
blackface lives matter.
Eventually, Yeah, I don't know that they understand the risk of putting on blackface. Like,
yeah, I mean, you're basically done.
Because the police, if they catch you,
you're done.
Shoot you in your car.
Well, there was actually an article written by a black woman who transitioned into being a man, thus being a black man.
Yeah.
She talked about the struggles. So you know, because people live in these bizarro worlds where they're like, men have it easy, male privilege. Black male privilege? All right, go ahead. So she became a man.
Yeah.
And now what do you think happened?
She got beat, tased.
She got pulled over, I think she said in her few months as a man.
Yeah.
She got pulled over 15-something times. Yet, as a black woman, she'd been pulled over twice in the entirety of her driving career, right?
Yeah.
She said she was late for a bus and was running, and cops got called because they believed that she had stolen. And so you read the article, you're like, are you serious? So it just, you know, these people are getting out of control. Like, you know, I don't know. The robot army's coming soon to clean everything up.
Yeah, they'll fix this. TLJ Screwjob says, you were right, Nick. That guy got no police reports. Is that, are we talking about Goku? Is that the police reports we're talking about? Anonymous, that's Bagel Goose, says, don't insult worms like that within the law macaw. Within the law macaw is my fursona.
Oh, yeah.
Siren Jag says, I see the stream gained an extra 11 inches this evening. Quick.
You get demonetized? No.
Yeah, we will be.
Oh, okay. Why don't you just put a Shane Diesel dildo just on the screen, just because? Make sure it's like in frame, like between us.
I started holding my breath when Nick started reading this tweet. I'll stop when Drexel complains about this stereotype or when I'm dead. Oh, I don't know if you might not make it, buddy. Matthew Rivard says, Ebony and Ivory living together in perfect harmony. Mithrin Emrys, I liked Rachel Dolezal when it was a story called Soul Man starring C. Thomas Howell. Did you ever see Soul Man?
No, I'm aware of it though.
TLJ Screwjob, F. Ron Toy. People Googled you in 5 seconds. Ron Toy. That's Bulma's.
Bulma's dude. So the beta male cuck.
Okay. For the record, for the official, this is the record. We have to settle it every single time you're on the show, because I have to know if your opinion has changed. Is it ever okay to be a cuck?
No.
No.
It's never ever.
You're
okay.
making an absolute statement that cuckoldry, cuckerificness is not.
You can't even say it with a straight face. It's a terrible word. I can give you an idea of how terrible it is. So let me just take this time to tell Nick what I told the wife upstairs about an hour or so ago. I was in Portland at the toy shop, and you go past. You got your lubes. You got all your BDSM stuff. There is now a section for cucks. And I'm not joking about this. A section for cucks.
But does someone else have to buy it for them?
Yeah, good point. Good point. Well, you know, honestly, a cuck, because they don't value themselves, they would buy themselves. They'd be like, excuse me, could you get that right there? Lower. So the wife asked, what is like cuck gear? They have, like I said, they have little chastities, little squirrel. It looks like a little squirrely pigtail. Chastities to put on the man's member, to sit in a corner with a porcelain mask or a horse mask or the pig's mask, leather.
Okay. And
they sit in the corner with their family jewels on ice while BBC plows their chick, man.
So they have iced testicles.
Correct. They shrivel up.
And a cock cage.
Correct.
That's disgusting.
It is. And it's worse when you hear the humiliation these guys endure. Oh man, these hot wives they're bad people. Yeah. I mean, they still get Hulk smashed. I mean, we don't care, but they're bad people.
Kek7Go says Nick is racist because he is only giving Drexel less than half space in the camera. No, that's the lean. That's his lean that's racist, not me. Then less than half the space in the camera that he has. Jesus Christ, move the camera so we can see him in his full glory. Drexel is far more interesting than you anyway. Well, I mean, sure.
That's why I can only be here like once every 5 months. I gotta, we gotta keep it like that.
Streamy, yeah, we see the chat.
Is it okay to be a bull?
Well, I mean, do you want to answer that? Is it okay to be a bull?
Okay. It's more okay than ever being a cuck. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, you get the requests, you almost exclusively from very unattractive beta white males. I mean, you get like Latino guys or a couple of Asian guys too, but it's mainly the white guys who will say like, "I'm over here and feel my life with your C." If you're gonna be a bull, I mean, I look at this. There's worse things you could be, like a cuck. if you gotta choose, I mean, like, I can think about this for a second. If someone said, "Would you got two options. There is no third option.
Okay.
Would you rather be a bull who's just running around just bukkake choke slamming every guy's wife, or would you rather be a cuck who's watching this in a porcelain pig mask with your testicles on ice?"
I mean, the answer is
and your family member in chastity.
Well, right. When you put it down to an A/B test, obviously A.
You'd rather be the bull.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Is that the bull is like a good thing? Like, because I mean,
Right.
you're still looking at beta male cucks in the corner.
Yeah, that's got to be.
Or in the closet.
That's got to be unsettling.
Literally and figuratively. It's sad, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's, there are a couple of times I almost felt bad, but I don't.
Okay.
You just move on.
Well, that was wholesome. Seth says, "I live 5 minutes from Covington Catholic. Ask me anything." WizKid HV says, "People on Twitter are taking your ban for fear."
Mm.
Like they're saying, "I'm afraid." Okay, that's fine. I would say the fact that they need to resort to personal attacks on me when their arguments have run out very, very quickly is probably them being afraid. Jira, remember when Sean King and Wesley Snipes got their hair cut the same way to fool their teacher?
Wow.
Keck7Go says, "Didn't your last Drexel video get demonetized for having Drexel in it?" Well, I mean, I can only assume that YouTube demonetized that video for having a black man in it.
Did it get demonetized?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
But they don't tell you. I'm trying to...
Okay, hold on. Doesn't make sense. Okay, so if your videos get demonetized and they don't tell you, then what allows other people's videos to go up and not be demonetized?
I don't know.
So they don't tell you what gets you demonetized. How would you know what gets you demonetized?
The vast majority of my videos stay monetized.
Okay.
So, like, the overwhelming majority are monetized. But there's like... So you get... Initially, you'll get demonetized, then you can appeal it.
Correct.
And you click on a box that says, "No, this is definitely advertiser friendly." So I did that on our show, and then someone went through and watched it, apparently, right? Because that's how they...
That's someone's job?
Yeah, they have to manually review. So you can imagine like a trans otherkin working at YouTube on the review squad, having to sit down and watch that video, and
then you might as well just... Okay, by that rationale, if you know you're gonna get demonetized, you just go full ratchet. It's just be as raunchy and terrible as you want, then, right?
Well, no, because if you're too bad, they'll shut your channel down. There are community guidelines. So there's two steps. The first step is, do advertisers want to put an ad on this video?
Okay.
And the second step is, does this video violate the community guidelines? And you can go pretty far, but if you get severely racist, like, and when I say racist, I don't mean actually racist. I mean it's a an algorithm picks out certain words. If you start dropping the N-word constantly, that's going to trigger that sort of thing to get a guideline.
Which is ironic, because I've seen some videos by black YouTubers.
Well, but see, then they get a manual review, and then they're like, "Oh, well, it's a black guy." So
okay, I see.
So
okay.
it's okay then.
Okay. Wow.
So this is the system that we have.
Hold on. So by that rationale, you should do every show should be a powwow then. Okay, all the groups that you could offend should be guests then, right? Because then you say, hey, I had this person sitting there right next to they said it was a perfect good. They represent the community.
I think the person would have to be the only one who could use the slur.
That's what I'm saying. So every time you wanted to, so like if I wanted to denigrate a cuck.
No, what we need to do though, so you know the obvious answer, right? Is you need a choral arrangement of racial slurs with all the different races.
By the way, Pablo Francisco did that. I saw him live in Vegas back in 2008. And he had a black dude on because this is back when Michael Richards from Seinfeld had made the racial slurs and ended his career, right? So Pablo, real quick, like done overnight. Yeah, that was actually one of the first like viral, like your career ended virally overnight. Yeah. So Pablo Francisco had a black dude on stage with him, synchronizing when to say the N-word. So then that way the black dude would say it, so Pablo Francisco could now get away by saying, "Hey, I never said it." I'm just saying that this is the problems that black people face with the N-word and we as a society. So he just kept it. It was a great bit. I don't know if I'm sure you can find it somewhere, but it's hilarious.
Your lean is taking you out of the frame the whole time. Can you like turn your chin? No, you gotta come this way.
I'll get closer to you.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty gay.
Yeah.
All right. Next. Gatsgat says hashtag Sanders / Ocasio-Cortez. That chick, have you seen her?
Oh yeah, AOC.
Yeah,
she's terrible.
So he says Sanders AOC 2020. That would be. I mean, I guess that's a good ticket.
Yeah, you know what?
All right. So let's
on to the case.
Let's start. We're going to take this very seriously. We're going to read this case. I don't know how long this is.
Page.
Well, it doesn't because it's on a web page.
Oh.
Okay, so let's do this. We'll do it by like paragraph breakdown, unless it's really short. We can read. Okay, so the plaintiff's complaint with the jury demand, and oh, you know, everybody asks me if you're a lawyer.
No, although you and I studied law at a very impressionable time in our lives, as you can remember.
With the greatest law professor there ever was.
We had someone epic who was taller than me, quite a bit taller. And yeah, so originally criminal justice was my original major. Yeah, brain fart. So criminal justice was my original major until I realized what a total...
Why were you going into criminal justice?
It wasn't to lock up black people, I promise. The reason I wanted to go into criminal justice was to get to the bottom of the system and fix the problems, right?
Okay.
To lock up the real bad people.
Right.
Once you realize that the real bad people control the system and want to lock up the good people to make themselves look good, to keep themselves in power.
Sure. While
the real bad people themselves get off scot-free, I've realized it's time to change majors. This is completely corrupt. And obviously I learned about privatized prisons and all. So that's how I learned about the legal system.
Okay.
Along with the dudes I know that were in court. I knew a lot of dudes who caught cases.
You got some first-hand or second-hand experience.
Second-hand experience. And the one first-hand experience with, family court. Those people.
All right. Now comes Nicholas Sandman by and through his parents and natural guardians, Ted Sandman and Julie Sandman, and by and through his counsel, states his complaint against defendant WP Company, LLC, doing business as the Washington Post, as follows. So then you have to take over here and start reading.
All right, so from the introduction. The Post is a major American daily newspaper published in Washington, D.C., which is credited with inventing the term McCarthyism in an editorial cartoon published in 1950 depicting buckets of tar. The cartoon made fun of then United States Senator Joseph McCarthy's tarring tactics of engaging in smear campaigns and character assassination against citizens whose political views made them targets of his accusations.
In a span of 3 days, in January of this year, commencing on January 19th, the Post engaged in a modern-day form of McCarthyism. Very dramatic.
I know, right?
By competing with CNN and NBC, among others, to claim leadership of a mainstream and social media mob of bullies which attacked, vilified, and threatened Nicholas Sandman, an innocent secondary school child.
I don't like the word child though. You can't be a secondary school child. You could say like a secondary school adolescent, but not a child.
You know the legal term for someone under 18 is infant.
What?
The legal term, anybody under 18, the legal term, they kind of move away from it because it's so colloquially infant means like an actual infant, but the legal term is infant for anyone under 18. So they could use that. Infant, juvenile, child are all interchangeable, but the official legal term is infant.
Okay, so now if you're representing R. Kelly, and he's had a slew of infants that have allegedly...
Imagine how much worse that headline would be. R. Kelly accused of sex with infant.
12 play, man. Poor R. Kelly. It's terrible.
All right, so you're up here.
All right, so the Post wrongfully targeted and bullied Nicholas because he was a white Catholic student wearing a red "Make America Great Again" souvenir cap, the one that used with Jussie Smollett's attack.
Would you wear a MAGA hat?
Would I? No, because I've always been libertarian. I've always been center.
Okay.
So, but now if it were for a joke, or like either way, like if someone told me to wear,
if someone just came up and said, "Hey, buddy, I bought you this hat. Would you wear it?" Like,
yeah. I mean, if someone just said, like, "Can you wear this hat?" Like, yeah, well, okay, I'm a black dude wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah. Would you wear
Kanye
it?
did it first.
Would you wear it in like South Side Chicago?
So, well, then that'd be the accused attacker then.
Yeah.
That happens in the bluest city in America. That's not California,
right?
We're gonna get to that tomorrow. Yeah, that story's completely ridiculous.
Okay.
Back to the thing. Okay, so he was wearing a red. As if there was does it even come in any other color?
No.
So why do they say a red?
So actually, they may have a white MAGA hat with red lettering. They might. I don't remember.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So wearing a red "Make America Great Again" souvenir cap on a school field trip to the January 18th March for Life in Washington, D.C., when he was unexpectedly and suddenly confronted by Nathan Phillips, now known as Phillips, a known Native American activist who beat a drum and sang loudly within inches of his face. The January 18th incident.
Wait, I'm going to read the next three because they're really short, and then you can read the next. Nicholas stood quietly and respectfully, smirking. It doesn't say smirking. Quietly and respectfully for several minutes after being targeted and bullied by Phillips, and Nicholas's body language remained non-aggressive and passive throughout the incident. Nicholas is 16 years of age, is 5'9" in height, and weighs in at a stunning 115 pounds. The school field trip to the nation's capital was the first out-of-state trip Nicholas had ever taken without being with his family.
All right, there we go. The school field trip to the nation's capital was...
read that one.
Is it the next one?
It's the next one. Come on.
Oh, my God, dude.
Follow along.
Oh, you're horrible. You scroll... you mis-scrolled me. All right. In targeting and bullying Nicholas by falsely accusing him of instigating the January 18th incident, the Post conveyed that Nicholas engaged in acts of racism by swarming Phillips, blocking his exit away from the students, and otherwise engaging in racist misconduct. I don't know how do you define racist misconduct?
Well, that'd be a... Well, wait, so I've got it. If you are engaged in racist misconduct, you must be nice to the race that you don't like, right? Like that's the misconduct of a racist is being accepting.
Correct.
Okay.
I did like that. That was a funny comment right there.
Oh.
Black dude with a MAGA hat, NPC not working. Glitch in the Matrix, ma'am.
Oh, here we go. So Valhalla. I'll have to explain this. Valhalla4413 says, "Thanks for the stream. I've screenshot it and sent it to my attorney and law enforcement. I will not be harassed. Have a nice night." This was Boma, right? During all this thing, people started saying, "What? You're accusing this guy, Vic Mignogna. We're going to talk about Vic Mignogna tomorrow. He doesn't know. He's no idea what's been going on with Vic. The only thing he knows about Vic Mignogna is that Broly's hilariously big." Correct. Yeah. Okay. So he doesn't know about it. Tomorrow we're going to really talk about it. I'm going to explain the whole situation. We're going to talk through the Me Tooing of Broly. But Bulma, when people started asking the voice actress who plays Bulma for like some evidence or anything, she said, Thanks for the tweet. I've screenshot it and sent it to my attorney and law enforcement. I will not be harassed. And now there's an actual Bulma meme of that. So
wow.
She got memed in about 10 minutes.
That was stupid. Oh, look, someone knows Metal Gear Solid. Les enfants terribles. Interesting.
Check 7 go. Does Drexel know how to pick locks and break into cars? I asked this before, but you only read my previous message halfway through. Oh, I'm sorry, Keck. Do you know how to pick locks and?
So pick locks and break into cars. Okay, so pick locks, not really, unless it's a simple lock.
Sure.
Break into cars. Everyone can break into a car.
Yeah, you just break.
You just break in.
Yeah.
You just break in. You won't be arrested. I will. But other than that, yeah, you just break into the car.
Now, have you ever operated a Slim Jim?
No. You know what? Didn't know anyone who boosted cars. I've known a lot of people who've done shady stuff. Never. Wait. I take that back. Took in a foster kid who got Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, take that back.
Which one?
Greg.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember him? yeah. I took in a foster kid. Yeah, GTA. Yeah, no doubt. Got caught a F.
Okay, so before I moved up to Minnesota, I lived in Houston, right?
Yep.
And there was one time my mom had locked her keys in her car in Houston, for she was working or whatever. And a guy comes up, he's like, "Excuse me, miss, you having trouble?" And she's like, because it's Houston, right? Houston in the 80s. Please don't kill me. And she says, well, I locked my keys in the car. He's like, "I got you." Pulls open the car, busts out a Slim Jim, opens it. "You're welcome, have a nice day." Walks off.
Are you serious?
He was a benevolent car booster. He just, happened to be able to operate a Slim Jim, had one in his, had it on him, and he's just like, "Here, I'll unlock your car, 2 seconds," and then walks off. Nothing.
And that was back before all the fancy locks now and all that stuff.
Yeah. Electronic locks don't let you do it.
Yeah. Wow.
But now they have to expand open the window with a pump, and they have to run something in and actually press an unlock button.
But for those people in the chat, if you go look up San Francisco carjackings, they are, no kidding. A friend of mine who told me about this, she works in government, has to deal with that. She told me that it's become rampant. People are literally busting into cars with it. Like, you could be eating dinner.
Yeah.
Your car is parked right there within eye shot. People are they're so good, they go like this and get in and take your stuff. No alarm. I'm thinking wow. So beware.
Yeah. Here we go. Okay, so no, you don't know how to pick locks, and everybody knows how to break into a
Everyone
car.
knows how to break.
You just bust a window.
Yep.
There's actually a YouTube channel that's very popular called The Lock Picking Lawyer, and he's apparently a lawyer. I don't know if he talks about law at all, but he does teach people how to pick locks. That's his hobby.
You know what? Honestly, though, I think that's something everyone needs to look at.
It's a useful skill.
In the global collapse that's coming, you're gonna need every little skill you can possibly imagine, like lock picking. Just name something. Knitting.
Yeah.
Crochet.
You learn to make things.
Learn to make things and
learn to cook.
When we get to be Venezuela after UBI and all that and total socialist rule, when the collapse comes, you're gonna need to know all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dead serious, man. You really need to know.
I believe it. I just. Venezuela got a raw deal, man. Maduro.
Yeah, Google the Maduro diet.
Yeah.
That's actually a thing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, everyone's lost, I think 19 pounds is the average loss of weight in Venezuela.
Dick Masterson is a guy who I listen to his podcast. I think you'd like his podcast quite a bit, The Dick Show. But he talked about a long time ago.
He's demonetized for that.
This was before he did The Dick Show, he was on a show with Maddox, right? The Cuck. That we talked about.
Yeah, that dude. Total cuck.
So Dick and Maddox had a show together, and they had to bring in a problem each week. And Dick brought in the problem, everybody needs to lose 20 pounds. Everybody on Earth. That's his, his theory. Everybody on Earth needs to lose 20 pounds. So the Maduro diet was doing Venezuela exactly as Dick.
Correct. That's socialism in a nutshell. Starvation.
Okay. Did you... Real quick, brief aside. I got banned on Twitter the other day, too, for 12 hours because someone posted that 10,000 journalists had been laid off from the media last year.
Yeah.
And I said they better learn to code. That was abusive, targeted harassment.
No, it's not. It's telling people that automation is coming.
Yeah.
It's why when you go to the grocery store and McDonald's and everything else, you see self-check kiosks and all that. I just went to an Amazon store.
Your argument is nuanced like Destiny's and very good, but if you say it on Twitter, you get banned for 12 hours. For the word, all I said was they better learn to code. That's it. And it was a reply to a follower of mine. So it wasn't even a journalist in the thread. Not like I targeted a CNN journalist who got fired. I just said they better learn to code. Boom, 12 hours.
Wow.
Anyway, Ben Cheever says there was a NASCAR driver.
Sent baddies to Venezuela.
There's a NASCAR driver who lost all sponsors because his father did an interview where he used the N-word. Yeah. This guy's dad did an interview in the 80s where he had said the N-word. And this guy, like last year, lost all of his sponsors because his dad in I think it was 1985.
Sins of the father. Oh my God, did you see that? Someone
where
picked the lock of my chastity belt.
Isn't there a phrase about sins of your fathers? Yes. They'll be carried down to the third and fourth generation is the Bible phrase. So if these people had any scruples, they couldn't blame slavery for every ill in black community. Yeah, well, I don't think slavery is the cause of all the ills in the black community. But we're going to talk about that stuff tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow is an intersectional racism spectacular.
Awesome.
Knight Commander says, lol, poor R. Kelly. He pissed in a 14-year-old infant's mouth. That's disgusting.
That didn't happen, man. Look, even though the Soul Train Award was in the background, his fingerprints were there. It wasn't him, man. It
was someone else?
It was someone else. Just, you gotta have that plausible deniability no matter what it is. Like, no, it didn't happen. Didn't happen. And had those girls get there. I'm sure you guys saw that video, Surviving R. Kelly. How'd they get there? Do you know how most of the girls got there?
No.
The parents drove them to R. Kelly.
Of course, yeah.
Of course.
That's how it goes. Whenever it's like, there was a 14-year-old alone in a room with this celebrity who assaulted him. It's like, where were their parents? Where were the parents? Because, That's
what
happened to Kevin Spacey with Anthony Rapp. Accused
Kevin Spacey. Is that kid who said...
When he was 14, Kevin Spacey assaulted him?
I thought he was with a kid at a bar.
No, I mean, we're not going to get into the fact that Kevin Spacey has since been accused again.
Oh, there was
a second accusation.
I saw his creepy infomercial where he denies it. Did you see that when he's in the kitchen?
Yeah.
That was creepy.
I don't know. He did it wrong. Deny and fight back. Like, that's your only defense.
Absolutely.
Not apologize, not turning gay. None of those things work. Dante Mussolini says, now that I think about it, Monica and Dean, that's Bulma and Cuck, look like, well, he's a self-identified cuck. That's not an insult, to be clear. He said he would rather he would rather be with her as a cuck than not with her at all. So, Monica and Dean look like SJWs when they dyed their hair. I would love it if PewDiePie helped Vic out in a video. I'd love it if PewDiePie helped Vic out in a video too, but Vic is doing very, very well. And like I said, tomorrow we'll be talking about that more. And Mithran Emmer says, lockpicking lawyer, then legal eagle, then law macaw, fight me raggeds. Wait a minute, are you saying... You done me wrong. That's not okay. Not okay. You're saying that legal eagle is above me. I won't take an L to lockpicking lawyer, but I will never take an L to legal eagle. I'm going to have to beat that guy in court.
Canceled. Should be. So should R. Kelly. Like, who's playing his music to begin with? Because he's terrible. But
okay.
Go ahead. All right. So we're back to
right here. The Post ignored basic journalistic standards because it wanted to advance its well-known and easily documented bias agenda against President Donald J. Trump by impugning individuals perceived to be supporters of the president.
And as a 16-year-old secondary student, Nicholas's political beliefs are anything but established and entrenched in his young mind. Nicholas has zero history of political activism or aggressiveness and did not exhibit any such conduct even when confronted with unbridled racist attacks by activist bullies at the National Mall.
The Post campaign to target Nicholas in furtherance of its political agenda was carried out by using its vast financial resources to enter the bully pulpit by publishing a series of false and defamatory print and online articles which effectively provided a worldwide megaphone to Phillips and other anti-Trump individuals and entities to smear a young boy who was, in its view, an acceptable casualty in their war against the president.
And unlike the Post's abuse of the profession of journalism, Plaintiffs do not bring this lawsuit to use the judicial system to further a political agenda. This lawsuit is brought against the Post to seek legal redress for its negligent, reckless, and malicious attacks on Nicholas, which caused permanent damage to his life and reputation.
That's the real tragedy of this story, though. Like, there's nothing that kid can do.
He's always gonna be known as that kid.
Yep.
Yeah. So if someone says his name, and someone will likely reply, "Who?" And then they'll reply, "What?" The MAGA hat wearing kid,
the smirking kid,
and oh, that guy,
the smirking kid who hates Native Americans and Black Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah. So when he goes to get a job interview, if he doesn't win his case, if he doesn't win the case and he doesn't get a settlement, and he goes just zero. Yeah. And he goes for a job interview or something, he'll hopefully grow some facial hair so that they don't recognize him as easy.
You think he can get into college?
No.
Yeah, what?
Like, no, college is pure SJW.
It's harder. He can get into maybe Liberty University. Jerry Falwell's.
Yeah, Jerry Falwell. You can go to go online courses.
Yeah,
Smirker way.
Rise like a phoenix.
University of Phoenix. What are those other ones? DeVry. Yeah.
National American University. Is that place still around? They had the jingle.
They have the jingle.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, though. Honestly, and I'm not joking. Like that's literally it.
Yeah. Well, where's he gonna go? UCLA.
Right.
He's gonna go to Harvard or Yale.
He's done.
Yeah. That David Hogg kid, he got into Harvard after having
David Hogg.
He's the Parkland massacre survivor that may not have even been there. That kid.
Wait, they may not have been there? I didn't hear about this part.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of speculation that kid wasn't, if he was even at the school, he wasn't in the building where the shooter was.
Okay, so they can prove he was at the school, though, right? They can prove he was
I don't know if they
present that day at school, because they have to have a roll call, right?
Well, I don't...
Well, I'm saying.
There's internet speculation that he heard the shooting was going on and literally got on a bike and rode to school because he wasn't there. I don't know enough about this to be an expert, but I'm saying there is a group of people who are dedicated to belief that he was not present at that school until after the shooting.
Oh, okay, because I remember the cop who blatantly ran away.
Yeah, this guy. I don't need to go in there.
Yeah. That's not my job.
Those aren't gunshots. That's just kids dropping books.
Kids dropping books. Oh, his dad is an FBI agent. That's true, then, huh?
Oh yeah, David Hogg's dad's an FBI agent.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
That's a real thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of stuff.
We're way off topic.
There's not enough time.
There's not, right?
And one thing, okay, because I'm gonna get comments on this. I will do a summary video on the Covington case that is condensed and just pulls out the important stuff. This show is live. It's about entertainment. It's about having fun with this document as kind of a framework for fun. Okay, so yes, I will give an actual analysis of the case. I haven't read it yet, so this is how I'm reading it. Have fun with that. But then I'll do it like a 15-minute condensed, edited video that will have just the important parts and the cause of action and their chances and all that stuff. That will happen. That will happen. Before you flood my comment section with, I wanted to learn about Covington today. I know. We're having... Enjoy the stream. Bask in the glory. And if you don't like this type of show and you're watching a replay, don't watch the replay. Watch the short version that's coming in the next couple days. All right. Sorry. It happens every time.
Oh, man. You have too much fun.
Yeah. Okay. So we're right here.
Yep.
I think it's you, right?
No, I just read the part of
the life and reputation. Yeah.
So now you're at
I'll do these two. The Post bullied an innocent child with an absolute disregard for the pain and destruction its attacks would cause to his life. The Post proved itself to be a loud and aggressive bully with a bully pulpit. I'll do one more. In this country, our society is dedicated to the protection of children, regardless of the color of their skin, their religious beliefs, or the cap they wear. That's a stupid line.
I don't like that line.
I get it, but that's a little bit too much.
Little overkill, but it nails the point home, I guess. So, but the Post did not care about protecting Nicholas. To the contrary, the Post raced with a reckless disregard of the facts and truth, because in this day and time, there's a premium for being the first and loudest media bully. A lot of truth to that, though.
The Post wanted to lead the charge against this child because he was a pawn in its political war against its political adversary. A war so disconnected and beyond the comprehension of Nicholas that it might as well have been science fiction.
They really put this thing. This is actually.
This is the legal document. Yeah, this is their intro. Now I'm gonna. So I do.
They went a bit far with some of these.
Part of you have a couple different strategies. You can craft a narrative in your intro, like that is acceptable. That's what the introduction is for. You're a storyteller guy.
Well,
how do you rate their story so far?
I should have C plus maybe.
Yeah, it's not strong.
It's not, no.
But it's not the worst thing.
It's not terrible. It's not like, like all it is basically typical legal jargon, but with some bad puns and bad connections in between. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. They're trying to lay out the story that this kid had no idea what's going on. But I think what they should have done, if they wanted to do it in this way, kind of hyperbolic, but get the point across, I think they should have gotten someone who could actually tell a story. And they should have told the story of his future. That's what they should have done, to me.
Well, it's funny you say that, because earlier on, when they talk about his reputation has been harmed forever, his life has been harmed forever, I would have stuck more on that. That this kid is going to forever be, because the fake news was, here's this kid is disrespecting this elder and blah, 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 blah. Then later on, they're kind of like, oh, all that was, because they rushed to judgment. Kind of like the Jussie Smollett case.
Yeah.
Where you rush to judgment because you want it to fit your narrative, and because you want basically an emotional reaction. I need to get an emotional reaction to get more views. More views means more money.
Right.
More exposure. That's all it is. I've seen this game played a million times.
Yeah. So my opinion, though, is to do that, the best way to paint the picture for the judge is to actually say, this is the next 10 years of this kid's life. He applies to colleges. He gets denied because of the political smear against him.
He tries to go get a job.
He
tries to get a girlfriend.
Right. And everybody's going to go, oh, you're that smirking kid.
Yep.
Oh, you're that smirking. He's going to have to grow out hockey hair. Let's see.
After the cap they wear. But, well, I already said the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Post wanted to lead the charge against this child because he was a pawn in its political war against its political adversary. Oh, wait, I just read that one.
Oh, yeah, the science fiction one.
So
okay,
you're the next one.
This is me. All right. The Post must be dealt with the same way every bully is dealt with, and that is hold the bully fully accountable for its wrongdoing in a manner which effectively deters the bully from again bullying other children. In a civil lawsuit, punishment and deterrence is found in awarding money damages to the victim and target of the bully.
In order to fully compensate Nicholas for his damages and to punish, deter, and teach the Post a lesson it will never forget, this action seeks money damages in excess of $250 million, the amount Jeff Bezos, the world's richest person, paid in cash for the Post when his company, Nash Holdings, purchased the newspaper in 2013.
What a bill.
Yeah, and again, it's in the title of the stream.
Yeah, 0.4%.
0.4% of the amount Jeff Bezos will lose in a 50-50 divorce with his wife.
Have you done a stream on? I'm sure after his wife announced that, did you do a stream on that? Like,
no.
What would be your legal advice to? Did you ever play like devil's advocate for both sides? Like, if you're Bezos, what do you say? If you're his wife, what do you know what I'm saying?
I haven't done that. I could. I hate family law so much.
I know, it's horrible.
Here's what you do if you're Jeff Bezos.
Kill him?
You say, I can't actually advise killing people. So what you do, I guess,
the drone?
You call Elon Musk, you buy her a new Tesla, you put her in it, and then you send it up into space where Elon Musk put all his dead hookers.
Correct. His SpaceX program. So in a sense, you kill her.
No, you buy her a Tesla and send it faster than any other Tesla has traveled right into outer space. That's what you do.
And there's no jurisdiction in outer space.
Oh, no, there is space law.
What?
There's space lawyers. I'm 100% serious. There are space lawyers. Yeah, actually, Scotty G knows one.
You're serious?
Yeah, because, for example, like satellites, they have, one, you got to share bandwidth and rent out bandwidth from satellites. Yeah. You also have to have an orbital path that won't run into something else. So they literally have property rights to an orbital path at different, elevations above the earth. And lawyers have to negotiate it. So space law is wildly lucrative because it's very specialized. You have to know a lot of math.
I know money, not math.
I might try and get a space lawyer on the show sometime.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
they probably got a different take on it quite a bit.
Right, right. But no, my legitimate advice to Bezos would be negotiate a settlement for $20 billion. An absurd amount of money.
She won't take it.
She might.
He's worth $139 billion.
Here's the advantage. If you negotiate a settlement, none of it's public.
But she wouldn't care. They're all about the Benjamins.
Maybe she wouldn't care.
Okay, let me ask you this: all the women that you've known.
No, I'm just saying. Maybe she's got dark secrets. Maybe she killed 4 Filipino children. Speaking
of dark secrets and killing Filipino children,
that's how Ruth Bader Ginsburg is still alive.
Not Cameron Diaz. Sandra Bullock and Kate Blanchett get like penis facials. Yeah, just anyone in the chat, Google Sandra Bullock penis facials, and the story will pop up. Her and Kate Blanchett on the set of Ocean's 8 talked about their little like baby penis facial. That's a thing. Now, I don't know if they're killing these kids or if it's some aborted. I don't know what it is, but if you Google Sandra Bullock and or Kate Blanchett penis facials, the story will pop up. So someone in the chat, do that.
That's horrifying.
It's a terrifying thing. All right, back to the case.
All right. The Covington Catholic School is happy to be associated with this stream. This stream brought to you by Covington Catholic.
Oh, man.
Where we don't sell your foreskin to Kate Blanchett.
Right?
The January 18th incident. Is it my turn?
Maybe.
On January 18th, 2019, Nicholas attended the March for Life on a school trip chaperoned by 16 adults, 9 of whom were faculty members at Nicholas's school, Covington Catholic High School, CovCath.
That does sound kind of something. Nicholas and his classmates were instructed to meet at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial at the National Mall by 5 p.m. to catch their buses for the return trip to Kentucky. Nicholas was wearing a red cap, Make America Great Again.
That's an editing error. Every lawyer I read a case on fails miserably at editing.
Now, you know how my issue with editing, because I'm an English dude. So that really gets to me.
Yeah, you won't get used to it. Lawyers
it really gets to me with typos and stuff. So Nicholas was wearing a red Make America Great Again cap that he had purchased that day as a souvenir.
While at the National Mall, a small group of adult gentlemen who described themselves as Hebrew Israelites, a known hate group, began verbally assaulting and taunting Nicholas and his CovCath classmates with, including but not limited to, threats of physical violence and vitriol, calling the students... Oh, I can't swear on this stream. Can you read that for me?
What?
I don't. It's a thing. I don't use profanity.
Incest babies?
No, this is the next one.
Oh, dirty ass crackers.
Thank you.
Whoa.
And future school shooters, that's a funny insult.
Here's what's worse. This is like, let's use this as like a little teaching tool. Let's get anecdotal real quick. The fact that the crackers statement would be considered so bad or incest, like future school shooter is the worst thing there. Because that actually affects people's lives. Like calling someone an incest baby. If you called me an incest baby, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
If you called me, dirty ass cracker or the N-word, I'd be like this. Not the first time I've heard that.
Sure.
But future school shooter has like a lot of huge societal negative connotations.
Now you know the white male privilege.
Wow.
The white male burden of under 18 white males. They're now all future school shooters.
Wow.
To me, that's the funniest insult that they had, though.
Yeah.
Because it's the best one. Like you said, it's the most...
It's the most cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's great.
In general, for people who don't know, those of us with thick skin who are very confident and secure in ourselves, using racial slurs or like talk about someone's appearance doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
But something like personal, something that cuts you. Like, now, don't get me wrong. Even if you called me a future school shooter back in the day, I still would have laughed. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. The fact that someone would say that, like, wow.
Yeah.
That's just terrible.
I think it's good. Good job, guys. They've said much worse than that. The black Hebrew Israelites. Okay, so then this is you.
All right. So after all that, one of Nicholas's classmates requested and received permission from a school chaperone to engage in Covcath school sports cheers in an effort to ignore and drown out the hate speech being hurled at them by the Hebrew Israelites.
The school cheer is intended and undertaken to promote unity and school pride and should have been correctly seen as a positive act, not a racist act.
Or triggered.
Correctly seen. Nothing can be correctly seen when you're perpetually angry.
Yeah, when you're perpetually triggered.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's gotten so bad out here.
During the school cheer, Phillips and a small group of his companions, all of whom had been participating in the Indigenous Peoples March. There are too many marches going on. March for Life, Indigenous Peoples March.
When do these people work?
I don't know. Well, many jokes. The last time they had an Indigenous Peoples March, at least the one Andrew Jackson ran, it didn't go so well.
No. No.
But at the National Mall that day, that's 2 marches in one day.
Right.
Instigated a confrontation with Nicholas and his Covcath classmates.
Rather than focusing their attention on the Hebrew Israelites, who had been relentlessly insulting both the teenagers for almost an hour and the Native Americans attending the Indigenous Peoples March before that, Phillips and his activist companions approached the Covcath students from a distance while beating drums, singing, dancing, and carrying cameras to capture the confrontation on video.
You've seen this video.
Yep.
Would you have punched that guy in the face? Okay. 17-year-old you, would you have punched that guy in the face? Like he sits there beating a drum and yelling in your face, like he's this far away.
Okay, here's what I would do. I'm not gonna lie. I would have done the same thing the dude did.
Yeah.
I would have smirked because no. If you ask me, what did I want to do? Like in terms of internally?
Yeah.
Yes, I would want to punch that because that is human nature. When someone violates your personal space and you feel is either threatening you or insulting you, yes, you do want to cause physical violence because as men, we have dominance instinct. Thus, we would react to that situation in a direct, expedient, physical action. Knowing that what would happen, especially like I said, if it was a 17-year-old me, it could be a 7-year-old. It would view me the same way. My answer would be no. Well, I think you missed it. We walked out when our principal had done whatever she did back in the day. It was after you graduated. Was it? Yeah, we had a walkout.
We had one too. I can't remember. They banned hats. We had a walkout.
We walked out of it. We walked out from wife beaters in school in 9th grade, t-shirt, the U-shirt, whatever the actual term is. But even back then, that was like the start of the triggered, snowflake generation.
Let's see where. Oh, God, I completely forgot where we were.
Okay, right here.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I scrolled up. Apparently, Phillips, a phony war hero. Oh, shots fired. They just say it right in the document.
Phony?
Was too intimidated by the unruly Hebrew Israelites to approach them, the true troublemakers, and instead chose to focus on a group of innocent children, a much safer endeavor for activist tactics of intimidation.
When Phillips first approached them, many of the Covcath students felt like he was coming into their group to join in with the students' cheers. Phillips intentionally walked up to the crowd of Covcath students. The Covcath students, that's a tongue twister. The Covcath students did not move toward Phillips or otherwise actively approach or surround Phillips.
They should have just stuck with students.
Yeah, Covcath. Every time you say Covcath, it's like we already know the students are the Covcath.
Right,
students.
There aren't other students in this scenario.
Correct.
Oh, and here they do. Nicholas and the students merely acquiesced in Phillips's election to enter their group and beat his drum within inches of Nicholas's face. Once within their group, Phillips freely moved about, briefly walking up to certain students within the group, which included many children who were not Covcath students. Phillips then walked directly up to where Nicholas was standing on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial so that he could confront Nicholas and bully him by getting in his face.
Phillips, a 64-year-old man attired in Native American garb and a stranger to Nicholas, continued to beat his drum and sing loudly within inches of Nicholas' face for several minutes while staring at Nicholas. Contrary to his false statements in media interviews after the January 18th incident that he was trying to move to the top of the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, Phillips approached the students from a distance and walked past clear pathways to the steps to the Lincoln Memorial.
Moreover, when Phillips then waded into the students' crowd and specifically confronted Nicholas, Phillips never made any attempt to move past, around, or away from Nicholas, even though he could have done so at any time. Prior to being directly confronted by Phillips, Nicholas had not noticed Phillips at the National Mall. Nicholas did not confront Phillips. Nicholas did not move towards Phillips. Oh, I mean, they've already laid that out.
Right.
Go ahead.
Nicholas did not make any movement to block Phillips' path or prevent Phillips from physically moving wherever he wished. Nicholas was startled and confused by the actions of Phillips in singling him out and confronting him. During the confrontation instigated by Phillips, Nicholas stood still as he was concerned that turning away from Phillips might be considered a sign of disrespect.
While he stood there with Phillips beating a drum near his face and singing loudly, Nicholas remained silent and did not utter a single word to Phillips. Nicholas did not make any gestures by hand or otherwise toward Phillips. Nicholas made only one gesture while being confronted by Phillips. He quietly signaled a classmate to refrain from responding to profanity-laced insults being directed at the students by one of Phillips' companions.
Let me take a quick stop right there. So this thing talks about how Nicholas was feeling. Feelings are irrelevant in general and in the court of law. You know, it starts saying like what Nicholas was thinking or what he was feeling. You can't. I mean, like in court, that doesn't hold up at all. If you say like, I was feeling this way, and you know what I mean, like the court doesn't, because if you say like if someone asked you a question, like if you were on cross-examination and someone asked, do you think that person felt this way or was doing? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, calling for someone else's state of mind is calling for speculation. So
correct.
That doesn't work.
But even this, he's just going on his account.
Yeah.
You're the lawyer. You're Nicholas. You come into the office and say, "This. The reason why I didn't do this is because this is what I was feeling or thinking."
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they don't care what you feel or think. They just care about the action itself.
No, but it has a psychological value. It doesn't. I mean,
it explains your action.
Yeah. The court can't rule on your feelings. However, remember that like a person has to read this document, so their approach is that they think that there will be enough value in them putting that in there to help persuade who's got to read it.
Yeah.
It might work, it might not. Let's see. Here we are. At all times, Nicholas acted respectfully, responsibly, appropriately, and in a manner consistent with the values instilled upon him by his family and his religious faith.
Once again, you see what I'm talking about? Like, come on. You know what I mean?
They're just reiterating that he didn't do anything offensive.
But you could have said, at all times, Nicholas acted respectfully, responsibly, and appropriately in a manner, like, so they could have just stopped it right there.
Yeah.
But once you add in a manner consistent with the values instilled upon him by his family and his religious faith.
I'll tell you why they put that line in there. This is a kid. It's just a kid. That's what they're getting at with that line. I promise you that line is there. Like, this is a kid. He's not, because they even mentioned it above, he's not sophisticated enough to have a dog in this political fight. This is all foreign to him. He's just out there trying to just be there and just act in the way he's been brought up and trained. Because he's a kid, he's not making decisions on his own. They're trying to defer any potential blame.
But at the same time, they're saying he was wearing a red MAGA hat.
Yeah,
which represents a political party.
I'm not saying that their rationale is good, but
oh man,
here, you want to pick up these last three?
Yeah. All right. The confrontation ended when Nicholas and his fellow CovCath students were instructed to board the buses. Indeed, when Nicholas walked away quietly to board the bus, Phillips turned away from the Lincoln Memorial and outwardly celebrated some perceived win over Nicholas and his CovCath classmates, with his companion shouting, "I got him, man, I got him. We won, Grandpa. We effing won, Grandpa." During the January 18th incident, Nicholas...
And they'd say it all again. Did not swarm or otherwise actively surround Phillips, did not target or confront Phillips, did not assault or physically intimidate Phillips in any manner, did not move from where he was standing when Phillips approached him, did not block Phillips's path or egress, did not taunt or mock Phillips or anyone else present, did not utter a single word toward Phillips, did not engage in chanting, jeering, or clapping with or at Phillips, did not taunt or hurt any political chant or racist slur at anyone, including Phillips, any other Native American, or the Hebrew Israelites, and did not engage in any conduct whatsoever that could be accurately described or characterized as racist.
He did not. And on January 19, 20, and 21st, the Post ignored the truth and falsely accused Nicholas of, among other things, accosting Phillips by suddenly swarming him in threatening and physically intimidating manner as Phillips and other activists were wrapping up the march and preparing to leave, blocking Phillips' path, refusing to allow Phillips to retreat, taunting the dispersing indigenous crowd, chanting "Build that wall, Trump 2020," or "Go back to Africa," and and otherwise engaging in racist and improper conduct, which ended only when Phillips and other activists walked away.
And of course, the irony of "Go back to Africa" is that it was actually one of the indigenous people groups who said "Go back to Europe" to the Covington kids.
Yeah.
So there you go. Online videos of the January 18 incident. On the evening of January 18th, 2019, at 7:33 p.m., Haya Taitano, a participant in the Indigenous Peoples March, posted online a selectively edited 59-second video depicting only a small portion of the interaction between Nicholas and Phillips. And later that night, she posted a 3-minute 44-second video. Collectively, the Taitano videos did not show, among other things.
Here's what it didn't show, people. The Hebrew Israelites' misconduct and homophobic racist slurs directed to the Covcath students. That Phillips had approached the students and inserted himself into their area before confronting Nicholas. That the students were already engaged in school cheers at the time Phillips approached. Nicholas engaged in any misconduct. Nicholas making any gesture of any kind except to, at times, awkwardly smile. Nicholas uttering any words to Phillips or his companions. Nicholas moving into Phillips' path. Nicholas blocking Phillips' exit, or Nicholas physically and verbally threatening Phillips in any manner.
At 11:13 p.m. on January 18th, 2019, at 2020 Fight, a fake Twitter account with the following of approximately 41,000. I mean, if you got 41,000 followers, you're not that fake of a Twitter account.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, so you created it, so you got 41,000 followers as a fake account?
Maybe they mean that
Views?
It's not not attached to a specific like movement. That's just like an anonymous. That's just a weird way to phrase that. Tweeted a 1-minute 1-second clip from the Taitano videos with the comment, "This MAGA loser gleefully bothering a Native American protester at the Indigenous Peoples March, the 2020 Fight video."
The 2020 Fight video alone is reported as having been viewed at least 2.5 million times, retweeted 14,000 times, and liked 27,000 times before the account was suspended by Twitter no later than January 21st.
Must have called someone dumb.
Right? Might have been you. Snapshots of the 2020 Fight video show it to have been viewed at least 10.6 million times.
According to media reports, the 2020 Fight account was created in December 2016, tweeted an average of 130 times a day, and was suspicious for its high follower count, unusually high rate of tweets, highly polarized and yet inconsistent political messaging, and the use of someone else's image in the profile photo. Oh, so they didn't use 2020 Fight's profile photo? That's weirdly phrased. I think what they're trying to get at is that this is a Russian bot account. It's like a disinformation. Because that's been the accusation, is that any account that people don't like is a Russian bot account.
Oh, that's a thing?
Yeah. And there actually is like some level of Russians botting on Twitter and taking inconsistent political sides because it's run by a slave house. Can you imagine waking up and going to work like, well, I'm on the way to work at Twitter account bot.
Oh man,
I will be pro-gun today, anti-gun tomorrow.
That's a terrible existence. Like because you can envision it.
Yeah.
And that's why what makes it so bad. God, Russian bots? That's what we come to?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's literally people's job, is to go and do like political disinformation on Twitter from Russia. And no one can seem to make heads or tails of like what their specific motives are, because they don't take one particular side. They
basically it's like a lightning rod.
Foment
right?
outrage, yeah.
Okay, so a general rule of thumb is just don't overreact. Just
well, when you can't ask people to do that.
I know. I'm just saying, but like in general, you would just look at something and go like this. There's probably more to the story. So rather than like react one way or another, you would just say, "Let me get the full story." But of course, people don't do that, which is sad.
Okay, one Tonka truck says the Twitter account was using some school teacher's picture from Instagram.
Wow.
Good job. All right.
Wow. It's like that. Okay, we're
right
down
here,
right there.
Yeah.
In fact, as acknowledged by the post on January 23rd, the @2020 fight account was likely a fraudulent account available for sale on shoutcart.com. What is that?
I don't know. I guess you can buy Twitter accounts with high numbers of followers or something. Wow. That'd be awesome. You should do that.
By January 23rd, the post conceded that the @2020 fight account that was largely responsible for the edited video going viral on social media may have been purchased from shoutcart.com for that specific purpose. This is a thing?
I don't know.
Am I?
I'm going to go buy one now, and we're just going to post R. Kelly videos.
That dude, I mean, the dude is the biggest scumbag ever. But like, you know what? You could almost see it happening. Like just that much fake news.
Wow. By January 23, the post conceded that the 2020 fight account was largely responsible for the edited video going viral on social media. Oh wait, you just read that.
Yeah.
With no investigation in the 2020 fight account, the post actively, negligently, and recklessly participated in making the 2020 fight video go viral on social media when on January 19th at 9:21 a.m., Post reporter Joe Heim. Is that, I don't, never mind. Reposted the 2020 fight video. The Post was one of the first, if not the first, mainstream media outlet to expand coverage of the January 18 incident from social media to mainstream media.
That's the big one. That's where the reputation gets ruined.
Yeah.
Which leads to Post reporter Heim was given credit for contributing to the Post's first online article within approximately 4 hours of his retweet of the 2020 fight video and was listed on the byline in the Post's first print article, along with Antonio Olivo and Cleve R. Wootson Jr. What name is that?
What national origin is Cleve Wootson?
What was that term earlier? Incest baby? I hope not, but like I've never heard a name Cleve R. Wootson Jr. Please someone Google this guy.
Yeah.
Cleve R. Wootson.
I don't know. I don't know if we want to. This guy sounds terrible. An accurate video as to what occurred on January 18th, 2019 was available online on January 19th, 2019 when Shar Yakates Banyamin, one of the Hebrew Israelites who was present for the encounter between Phillips and Nicholas, posted a 1 hour and 46-minute video on Facebook, the Banyamin video.
Wait, hold on. Pause.
Yeah.
Who had an hour and 46 minutes of like footage?
The Hebrew Israelite guys who were there the whole time.
Yeah, I understand that part, but like what camera has that kind of like? So what you just plan to what? Your phone can't do that.
I think they were just filming their whole counter protest or whatever.
Makes you happy.
I guess their counter. I mean, I don't know if it was an official counter protest. I think those guys just show up and yell at people. Like they just
an hour and 46-minute video though.
They've got a lot of yelling.
Wow.
I mean, I can do more than that. These are rank amateurs at yelling at people.
But who does that? Like who sits there and like roll camera? Hour and 46 minutes. Really?
Yeah. Well.
Wow.
They got to document them owning the usurper, the White Devil, Yaku or whatever.
Of course.
I learned about Yaku from Wu-Tang.
Of course you did. You can also learn it by a real racist, Cynthia G. I don't know if you ever heard that name.
No, never heard.
Look her up. She might be the most racist person of all time.
Cynthia
ever.
G.
Cynthia G. She's one of these hood rats that runs around yapping about how much she hates white people, but she's a former ghetto gagger and swirler herself.
I don't want to know what those mean.
Oh man, Urban Dictionary, where are you? Where art thou? Okay, back to after Wootson Jr. An accurate video as to wait. That's what
no,
just
we're
said.
here.
Okay,
We're
yeah,
here.
sorry.
We're the
A plethora of relevant video was also available online, but ignored by the Post and the mainstream and social media mob of bullies, which the Post sought to lead to further its biased agenda.
From online video and fair use of media broadcasts, Nicholas's counsel produced a 14-minute video distilling what occurred on January 18th, entitled "Nicholas Sandman: The Truth in 15 Minutes." The Sandman video, available at https:// this YouTube link. We're not watching that. You want to just close it out?
Yeah, the Banyaman and Sandman videos accurately set forth the truth of the January 18th incident. The Banyaman, whatever, and Sandman videos demonstrate that this incident was intentionally instigated by Phillips and that Nicholas was targeted by professional activists whose false accusations neatly fit the mainstream and social media's anti-Trump agenda. The Banyaman and Sandman, God, I keep saying this. I mean, just call it like BNS. The BNS videos demonstrate that Nicholas did not engage in any of the misconduct described by the Post.
Nicholas's statement and NBC interview. Hey, you know what you shouldn't do? Probably an NBC interview.
Yeah.
It won't go well.
Yeah.
So speaking of this, gosh, we're going to talk about this so much tomorrow, but someone in the chat earlier asked me if I had seen the IO9 article that was written about Vic Mignogna. IO9 is a division of Gizmodo, which is Gawker Media.
Yeah, I know Gawker.
It's their tech arm. Okay, so they of course did a hit piece. Now here's the thing. They reached out to Vic Mignogna. They reached out to him and asked him questions about the incidents, right? And he answered them. Now, the IO9 piece, being a hit job, doesn't include anywhere near all of his answers. But what's funny is there's a guy on YouTube named Yellow Flash. And just yesterday, if you guys haven't seen this, just yesterday, Yellow Flash got his hands on the actual document that Vic sent to IO9 with the full answers. And he covered that. So so people out there, you know, if you're curious about what Vic actually said to IO9, if you care about that case, go check out Yellow Flash's video. I'll probably do a follow-up video on it, but I don't know when I'll get to it. So anyway, back to...
You missed a hilarious message in there. Someone had actually...
Which one? This one?
Someone actually had the Urban Dictionary definition of ghetto gaggers.
We're gonna leave that be.
Oh man, I don't know how my eyes like focused on that all of a sudden.
That's how life. Rick Rekieta. That's Rick Rekieta. This guy, Rick Rekieta, causes me more trouble on Twitter than anybody else.
I caught that one
because people are like, he says something and they're like, look at what this lawyer said. It's like, that's not me.
Right?
He says, I forgot you had Drexel in today. Well, I didn't know that Drexel was going to be in today. The plan was for tomorrow. But since he's here today and tomorrow, I figured why not both?
It's Mark and Needham. This guy. He just kind of goes on and on.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, he's I think he's probably someone who's just trying to get this stream shut down because of you.
Oh.
So, I don't know.
He's been doing it all night. That's why I was kind of like,
yeah,
well.
I guess. I don't ever know why people do things. Whatever. Mithrin Emra says, Nick, the digressions and rants are what make you great. Don't apologize. Oh, I'm not apologizing. Did I say the words I'm sorry? If I did, I'm sorry. I mean, Legal Eagle doesn't apologize for being a lawyer stereotype. And he should. What a scum. SJ Jar Jar Binks says, don't some states have maximum civil damages laws? In some instances, yeah, they can. I think this is in federal court. I forgot to check. Rickard, shout out to all my masculine presenting transgender lesbians out there. Hey Drexel, how was your experience in the family court system? Have you seen the TFM or DDJ vids on the family court and the divorce industry?
Well aware of all that.
Do you want to talk about that now? We can talk about that tomorrow too.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll get in there.
Tomorrow we're gonna have just a completely off,
some freeform,
unhinged video of probably real problems. Tillip says shill the merch. I mean, below the video there is a ticker with merchandise that's available. Buy yourself a smug mug and make yourself very happy as you drink liquor or whiskey or coffee or tea or whatever out of it. There's some more shirts coming. We're working on a series of amendment t-shirts that should be pretty cool. And I'll show those on stream when they do come out. But do check out the merch shop at Teespring. I'm not going to bring it up on stream right now because it's annoying to do. Cerno says, be careful not to get racketeering charges.
No, it's Rekieta cheering.
Rekieta. Racketeering.
Yeah, it's not racketeering.
Yeah,
it's Rekieta cheering.
Rick Nikita says, I haven't been Rick on Twitter for months. It's your boy Pickled Nick now. Yes, I know. I know what you are.
Rick Nikita. That's hilarious.
TLJ Screwjob says, and Funimation's first inconclusive investigation is also mentioned in the IO9 article. Yes, of course. Which all just leads to the whole idea that there actually is what we would call a legal conspiracy. Against Vic. But again, Vic will be talking about tomorrow. Back to this. On the afternoon of January 20th, in an attempt to stem the threats of physical violence being made against him, his family, and his Covcath classmates, Nicholas made a public statement in which he provided a detailed and accurate factual description of the January 18th incident. A copy of Nicholas' January 20 statement is attached here too as Exhibit A.
On January 23rd, in a further attempt to stem the threats of physical violence being made against him, his family, and his Covcath classmates, Nicholas gave an interview to Savannah Guthrie on the Today Show on NBC, in which he reiterated his detailed and accurate factual description of his encounter with Phillips in the face of accusatory questioning by Guthrie. Once again, just like you said, that's how you do the hit piece. Because it happened with the kid, the Bennett kid who Me Too'd Asia Argento, where based on who's interviewing you,
yeah,
the tone of the interview is different, right?
Right.
So this Guthrie, I never saw this. I'm assuming, based on what they're saying, the accusatory questioning by Guthrie. So once again, you are
How long have you hated Native Americans?
Yeah. It's that angle. And it's like, this is the kind of stuff that needs to start. Like, at some point, you got to have either fair journalism and journalists, or someone's got to be neutral. Otherwise, you just got to go full independent. Because when you go to these major news sources, that's what you get is a hit piece.
Yeah, of course.
It's always a hit piece.
They've never been interested they're interested in reporting their narrative.
Correct.
An investigation reveals the truth. The Post did not conduct a proper investigation before publishing its false and defamatory statements of and concerning Nicholas. A false and defamatory statement of and concerning Nicholas was also published by the Diocese of Covington on January 19th before a proper investigation had been conducted by the diocese. That's very true. It was really a shameful statement by the diocese. Right here.
All right. Subsequently, the Diocese of Covington retained, through its counsel, a third-party investigative firm, Greater Cincinnati Investigation, Inc., GCI, to formally determine what occurred during the January 18th incident at the National Mall.
On February 11th, 2019, GCI issued its final investigative report, the GCI report, a true and correct copy of which is attached as Exhibit B. On February 11th, 2019, Diocese Bishop Foys released the GCI report and said in a letter to the Covington Catholic parents that the GCI report exonerated the students and demonstrated that the students did not instigate the incident at the Lincoln Memorial. A true and correct copy of said letter is attached as Exhibit C.
The GCI report is entirely consistent with all video evidence as well as statements issued by Nicholas and other Covcath students and chaperones. According to the GCI report, 4 licensed investigators spent approximately 240 man-hours investigating the incident, interviewed 43 students and 13 chaperones, reviewed approximately 50 hours of internet activity, and attempted to interview Phillips, who failed to respond to phone calls, emails, or investigators who waited outside his home for 6 hours and left a note asking him to contact them. Now, that's very interesting, because this goes into something that you and I have talked about on numerous occasions. Who's the fight that you said you wanted to see?
That was Andy Worski versus Tonka. Tonka's his nickname is Dead Air. book on the shelf.
Oh, look at that there.
And Tonka, well, we've determined that he's also nicknamed Rolaids because he's allegedly in a wheelchair and may have AIDS.
Wow. Wow. Well, this goes back to that basic principle of, in general, a person who is telling the truth wants their story to be told and they have the facts to back it. When someone does not have corroborating evidence, they always try to avoid something.
Right.
So this Nathan Phillips guy, like, I'm always questioning anybody who's trying to avoid when law enforcement comes. Because when law enforcement comes to get a statement, to get yours, to get the facts straight, when you avoid them, you should be seeking them out. Or at the very least, when they come to you saying, hey, yeah, I'm here, ready to go ahead and dispense my part of the story that I believe is entirely factual.
Right.
But when you avoid that, then that tells you a lot.
Nathan Phillips is a professional at this. I don't know if you saw, but he's done this stuff before. Yeah.
Yeah.
The GCI report made the following key findings. Nicholas's January 20 statement accurately reflects the January 18 incident. There was no evidence that students responded to the Black Hebrew Israelites with any offensive or racist statements of their own. Students asked their chaperones if they could perform school cheers to drown out the Hebrew Israelites' invective, and upon receiving approval, they performed the same cheers that are commonly performed at football or basketball games.
Mm. There was no evidence that the students performed a Build the Wall chant. Defendant Phillips approached the Covington Catholic students. Oh, now they're suddenly not CovCath. There was no evidence of offensive or racist statements by students to Mr. Phillips or members of his group. The majority, if not all, of the MAGA hats being worn by students were purchased before, during, or after the March for Life. In previous years, some students had purchased Hope hats in support of President Obama. Oh, they're playing the angle. I get it.
Yeah.
Mr. Phillips' public interviews contain some inconsistencies. And now let's get on to Phillips' inconsistent and false claims.
Phillips is known to have given at least 6 interviews to mainstream media, including the Post, CNN, the Associated Press, Detroit Free Press, MSNBC, and Democracy Now! I don't know if Democracy Now! Counts as the mainstream media, but okay.
Yeah,
The accusations of Phillips and his companions, as published by the Post, and the other identified above, are remarkable in their inconsistency with each other.
According to the first Post print article, Phillips stated that the students suddenly swarmed around him as he and other activists were wrapping up the march. According to the Associated Press, Phillips stated that he felt compelled to get between two groups with his ceremonial drum to diffuse a confrontation. And according to the first Post article, Phillips said he was trying to exit out of this situation and finish my song at the Lincoln Memorial.
According to the second Post print article, Phillips said he was trying to reach the top of the memorial where friends were standing. So those are both from the Post, two different objectives. According to Democracy Now! Really, it's got an exclamation point in its title. It's embarrassing. Phillips stated that I wasn't focusing on anybody except taking the youth out of there, the indigenous youth that was with me, out of that situation. And that's when Mr. Sandman stood in front of me and blocked my path. According to the first Post print article, Phillips stated that it was getting ugly and he needed to find an exit out of there, but Nicholas blocked his way and wouldn't allow me to retreat.
But according to the second Post print article, Phillips queried, why should I go around him? Despite Phillips' claim that the students yelled, build that wall, go back to Africa, and go back to the reservation, no video evidence exists substantiating this accusation. Despite an attorney for the Lakota People Law Project, Chase Iron Eyes, claim...
I mean, come on.
Right?
Chase Iron Eyes.
Chase Iron Eyes. Claim, as reported in the first Post-print article, that the incident ended when Phillips and other activists walked away, and Phillips claimed that he was trying to reach the top of the steps. The incident ended only when Nicholas left for his bus, and Phillips then turned away from the top of the stairs and celebrated his perceived win with his companions.
Despite Phillips's claims that the student left because they were running from the police, the video evidence and statements of witnesses demonstrate that the students left to catch their buses. Although Phillips has previously claimed to have served in Vietnam, it is now evident that though Phillips was in the Marines, he was never deployed overseas. Good Lord. How long? Oh my God, this is still the intro.
Is it?
This is still, because you do your intro before your jurisdiction and venue argument, which is here.
Wait, does it show how many pages we got?
God, a cause of action. They like combine their intro and fact section. This is a disaster.
Look, I'm looking at your scrolling.
Yeah.
That would take. Oh.
This is God.
So look.
Yeah.
Still scrolling.
Yeah. I don't know that we're going to get through this because I'm really getting bored with this document.
But this is. I guess we can go to like the important stuff, right? Like.
No, I mean the cause of action. Private figure. So they're saying he's not public, which is true. The media is going to try and make him into a public figure, but that's their actions making him public, not his.
Well, cause of action for defamations.
Because I mean, we get the coverage,
yeah.
Jurisdiction and venue. Let's read. This section is only really long. Good God!
Oh my God! Like
I don't like the layout of this document at all. Oof.
Wow.
Okay. Let's I guess let's read this cause of action for defamation or see how far we get before I can't take it.
Right?
I can't take it.
All right. Cause of action for defamation. Nicholas reasserts and incorporates by reference paragraphs 1 through 110 of this complaint as is fully restated herein. The post published to third parties without privilege no less than 6 false and defamatory, got that word. Defamatory, my word. Certain words. Articles of and concerning Nicholas, including 2 in its print newspaper and 4 online. This number does not include those articles that the Post updated and changed after initial publication.
On January 19th, 2019, the Post published online its first false and defamatory article entitled, "It Was Getting Ugly." Native American drummer speaks on MAGA hat-wearing teens who surrounded him. The first article. A true and correct copy of the first article is attached. Hereto is Exhibit D. The first article features Nicholas prominently by publication of the @2020 fight and or Titano videos and emphasizing his allegation or his alleged involvement as the, quote, one standing about a foot from the drummer's face wearing a relentless smirk. Wow. That smirk wasn't going to stop, y'all.
The smirk was real. I kind of like the smirk. Only because what else are you supposed to do? Because if you mean mug somebody, then you're considered a threat, right? Like, had he looked more aggressive?
Oh, yeah.
More threatening, you know?
There was nothing that as soon as Phillips walked up to this kid, there was no action he could have taken that would have been taken well.
Correct. So even the smirk. So if we can...
He should have just gone full bore and knocked the 3 teeth the guy had left out.
You have 3?
I don't know. Maybe only had 2.
You might have 2, man. But therein lies the point. If you look at a situation where a guy is... he's being basically vilified for a smirk. And what if he does anything more than a smirk? Then what happens?
Yeah, I mean,
you're in a no-win situation. So no matter what you do, like you said, you're screwed. So yeah,
you got a mean mug like PyCon.
Who?
PyCon from DBZ. See, everybody forgets PyCon, the canonical character who one-shotted Cell.
I don't remember that dude. He must come later.
He's a dude who looks like a knockoff Piccolo. Well, I'll show you.
Is he in the new ones?
No. This is DBZ time. Like this Boo
that guy. I didn't watch the Boo saga. Okay, it was terrible by then.
I'll show you some PyCon.
I couldn't take it after
PyCon gets a run. Anyway, okay. Okay, we're right here.
This is almost as long as the spirit bomb being made.
We haven't gotten started.
God. All right, where am I? All right, all right, after the smirk. The first article communicated the false and defamatory gist that Nicholas instigated a confrontation with Phillips and subsequently engaged in racist conduct. The first article communicated the false and defamatory gist that Nicholas assaulted and or physically intimidated Phillips. The first article communicated the false and defamatory gist that Nicholas engaged in racist taunts. In the first article, the Post published or republished the following false and defamatory statements.
The headline, "It Was Getting Ugly. Native American drummer speaks on MAGA hat-wearing teens who surround him." In an interview Saturday, these are all quotes from the article, statements from the article, so I'm not going to say quote every time. In an interview Saturday, Phillips, 64, said he felt threatened by the teens and that they suddenly swarmed around him as he and other activists were wrapping up the march and prepared to leave. Phillips, who was singing the American Indian movement song of unity that serves as a ceremony to send the spirits home, said he noticed tensions beginning to escalate when the teens and other apparent participants from the nearby March for Life rally began taunting the dispersing indigenous crowd. A few people in the March for Life crowd began to chant, "Build that wall! Build that wall!" he said.
And we confirmed that like no one heard that, right? Like on all the videos.
Yeah, I don't think anybody.
Like they went through that. And the investigators, they're like, it was never said.
Right.
So where did that come from? Obviously, his imagination.
Yeah. Well, the journalist.
Of course.
Here, you want to pick up here?
All right. He said, "It was getting ugly, and I was thinking I've got to find myself an exit out of this situation and finish my song at the Lincoln Memorial," Phillips recalled. "I started going that way, and that guy in the hat stood in my way, and we were at an impasse. He just blocked my way and wouldn't allow me to retreat. It clearly demonstrates the validity of our concerns about the marginalization and disrespect of indigenous peoples, and it shows that traditional knowledge is being ignored by those who should listen most closely," Darren Thompson, an organizer for the Indigenous Peoples Movement, said in the statement. Now you got Chase Iron Eyes again.
Chase Iron Eyes, an attorney with the Lakota People Law Project, said the incident lasted about 10 minutes and ended when Phillips and other activists walked away. "It was an aggressive display of physicality. They were rambunctious and trying to instigate a conflict," he said. "We were wondering where their chaperones were." Phillips was really trying to defuse the situation. Phillips, an Omaha tribe elder who also fought in the Vietnam War, has encountered anti-Native American sentiments before. Here's the problem with this.
Are you guys remarking the war? Because all of this is inconsistent.
Here's the problem with all of this. So all of these are listed as false and defamatory statements. Here's the argument against this whole section. Not one of those mentions Nicholas Sandmann.
It mentions the guy in the hat.
Where was that?
He says it. "I started going that way, and that guy in the hat stood in my way, and we were at an impasse. He just blocked my way and wouldn't allow me to retreat." So he's basically saying he physically imposed his will to prevent his exit.
Yeah, but they're quoting someone else's statement there. That's going to be hard to pass off as that being defamatory for the Post, because that's what he said.
Correct.
They maybe could have added a statement that said,
"This is what he told the Post," or "This is what,"
or "Upon review of the video, it did not appear to be true." But I mean, at least this section, this article, I mean, how are you going to argue that this is limited
defamatory?
Defamatory against Sandmann? It's not. It's against the teens, maybe. It's false. It's got problems with it for sure. But
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm not gonna lie. As I'm looking through all this, yeah, the only time that something is directed toward Nicholas is, he's talking about the guy in the hat, and he talks about the people blocking his way. He talks about the people kind of making him feel threatened. But there's not really it's not like you're saying like this guy is a racist, because that's defamatory. If you start saying, making something like that.
Yeah, I mean, none of this. There might be more stuff coming. This is a problem with this lawsuit, is that they need to link this article to Sandmann better than they're doing, in my opinion. Okay. They do up here a little bit. The false and defamatory gist. That's a weak statement.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, well, we'll see. We'll go on. On January 20th, the Post updated its second article. A true and correct copy is attached as Exhibit E. The second article, as updated and in addition to the gists identified above in the first article, communicated the false and defamatory gist that Nicholas's behavior violated the fundamental standards of his religious community and violated the policies of his schools, such that he should be expelled.
Wait. Were they trying to do that?
Yeah. They're trying to get him expelled.
Dude, where did that go?
Well, it didn't work because the diocese conducted an investigation and said everything was okay.
Okay, so in the scorched earth, in the vein of the scorched earth principles, Is he going after the school that tried to expel him? If someone tried to expel me, I would go after the school too.
Well, the school didn't try to expel him.
Wait, so who did try to expel?
I mean, they were trying to get the school to expel him.
Oh, I see. Okay, I can see. So yeah, that's why hence the diocese at that Catholic school did their investigation.
So here they're saying
that... Okay, I got you.
The article stated that his behavior violated the standards of the religious community and the policy of the school. And
he should be. Okay, I got it. Yeah, right. So they're pushing for. So yeah, now that is defamation, because you're pushing.
Right.
You're claiming a narrative that didn't really happen based on your own implicit bias, claiming that this person should now be expelled based on that implicit bias.
Yeah.
So you're saying he was doing this. This doesn't uphold his values for your school's mission statement.
Right.
Thus, he should be expelled.
Right.
That's defamation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all of this could be the problem. The problem again with all of this is
it's not the Washington
I
Post.
don't know if there is a defamatory gist standard, and if there's anything, they need to start laying out some case law that supports the idea of a defamatory gist or a judge.
Well, anytime you talk about someone if someone makes the comments that you should be removed from your position, removed from your school.
You notice what's lacking here. There's not actually a
like quotations.
No quote.
Well, quotes. Yeah.
It's
I know.
Gist. It's a sentiment that they did that. I don't know what they said. They should have that here. Well, let's read this next part because there is a quote coming.
All right. In its false and defamatory second article, in addition to those identified in the first article, the Post published or republished the following false and defamatory statements. Exhibit A. We, Bishop Foys and the Diocese of Covington, condemn the actions of the Covington Catholic High School students towards Nathan Phillips specifically and Native Americans in general, the statement said. The matter is being investigated and we will take appropriate action up to and including expulsion. The diocese statement expressed regret that jeering, disrespectful students from a Catholic school had become the enduring image of the march. Like this goes back to the whole the apologizing part of our culture.
Now this part actually might qualify. So there is a publisher liability where they're publishing or republishing statements that are defamatory. If you do it recklessly, then the defamation does pass on to you. So they're saying that the Covington Diocese published a defamatory statement, and then the paper carelessly republished that statement or recklessly. Yep. So that's a better argument, but it's still still
kind of weak.
This is thin right now.
Okay, so at this point, I think the only thing that we can say that was out of bounds, they were playing a video that they know wasn't the full and correct story.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
That's a big problem. But in terms of like actual like testimony, anecdotes, I think that case is weak because all it is just conjecture and kind of like innuendo. They haven't really given you anything.
Yeah.
Is this guy still on there? The troll?
There are a couple of them.
These guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing over and over.
Well, that's part of the plan. Unfortunate. Let me read a couple of these. So Siren Jag says, Rick Rekieta caused you the most trouble on Twitter. I resent that. But it's only because people mistake me for him. Even when we're both in the same thread. Cerno says, yes, it was a corny joke about how sometimes I hear your last name pronounced rackets. That's a nickname that Dick Masterson gave me because he couldn't pronounce my last name. Rando number 9 I say, whoa, Kimosabi. That's for...
Oh.
Cerno says, the courtroom must go through lots of toner. Yeah, this document got really long, and I hate the layout that they've done. It's very weird. Cerno says, you should change your name to a more smug name. How about Nick Smirker? And Iron Mater says, vertically sunset communists and fascists from the same tree, no step on Sneck. So he doesn't like communists or fascists. Vertically sunsetting them.
That's something.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so let's go. So we're here. This is mine, right? Yeah, because you read this thing.
Yeah.
On January 20th, 2019, the Post published in print its third false and defamatory article entitled Marchers accost. I guess it would be accosted.
Yeah, accosted.
By boys in MAGA caps draws ire. The third article, a true and correct copy. See, the headlines of these articles are defamatory.
Correct. Because then it gets clickbait.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
The third article was published on the Post Sunday edition of its newspaper, and the third article referenced the viral 2020 fight and/or Titano videos that had gone viral, prominently featuring Nicholas, and emphasized Nicholas' alleged involvement as the one standing about a foot from the drummer. Should we just skip to the quotes? I'm getting really tired of reading.
Yeah, it keeps on going the gist statements.
Okay, you want to start reading these quotes?
All right,
here?
the quotes. In its third article, the Post published or republished the following false and defamatory statements. Now, let's see if they actually finally make an actual point. Now, once again, they start with the headline. Smart.
That's good.
That's smart. The headline, Marchers accosted by boys, or should be accosted, by boys in MAGA caps draws ire. Okay, we'll give them a point. In an interview Saturday, Phillips64 said he felt threatened by the teens and that they suddenly swarmed around him as he and other activists were wrapping up the march and preparing to leave. It's not defamatory, though. Yeah, you say, if you say you felt threatened, that's not defamatory. Saying this person is like a thug is.
Yeah, I think they're focusing on the suddenly swarmed around him.
Yeah, but that's a false narrative. But that's not entirely. I wouldn't call that defamatory.
Yeah, it's not good because again, this is about the students.
The students, yeah, that's the student body.
I know this kid has gotten the raw end of all this deal. Like this main smirking kid is the main target of all of this, but it's hard to say that they've got an uphill battle. I mean, I'm skimming through these. I don't see a single one that goes after him. It's the same stuff.
A general problem with this whole thing, they should focus on, here's what they should mainly focus on. The articles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, articles attached to these clickbait headings, right? Because the initial story, like, I bet you everyone in the chat, doesn't matter who you are, everyone in the chat remembers the initial heading, right?
Right.
Which was like, MAGA teen and these kids, basically ganged up on this war hero Native American elder. That was like what the initial story was. Who published that initial story and who piggybacked onto it? That should be your first thing. After that, then you like I said, then you go with the anecdotal stuff. It's like you got to focus on the media portraying you as basically a thug first, and from that point, then you kind of move on to your other stuff.
Let's see, the fifth article. Here's one of the statements that I think actually works really well. In the fifth article, it says they emphasize Nicholas's alleged involvement by stating that one of their students, one of their members, and they're adding the students, appeared to physically intimidate Nathan Phillips. That's supposed to be imputed upon Nicholas Sandman because he's the kid standing directly in front of him.
Correct. And, quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
A guy in the chat said what I was thinking. He asked if you're right here. Asked about modding some of these people.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about that? Because he said someone's trying to get your channel taken down. I saw that in there.
Yeah, I try not to mod the chat. I try not to. I probably am going to need to, which is really...
Because I'm looking at some of these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
You may need, because I'm looking, okay, once I kept asking who that person was, I kept on making these same, the same thing over and over. It is, like someone in your chat just said, you need to start creating mods just to...
Yeah, it's really embarrassing that
people are just, so they're basically trying to sabotage you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got it. That's pitiful.
Yeah. Siren Jag, buddy, go to town. Go to town if you could, please.
Mark Needham. It's cute.
I added a couple. I do have a couple moderators, and they're not here.
Oh, I see.
And they have the instruction to leave everybody alone because I don't like doing it.
Yeah, I understand because you don't want to be like the guy who just basically like anyone who doesn't agree with me, and then poof, they're gone. But like some of these people are literally just obnoxious.
So
whatever.
Anyway, so Siren Jag and Rekieta, if you could help me out with that, I'd really appreciate it. All right. Oh, and Loyal Logic, I know. I'll get you. Alright, they've found a way to foil me. What a derailment. Loyal Logic, can you help out too, fam? That'd be great.
You know what's sad? Like, you don't want to do it, but if you're going to get your channel taken down because these people are literally, like, sabotaging. Really?
Yeah, it's pretty annoying, unfortunately. You know who to take down, guys.
So, yes, like I said, as long as you do, like, a temporary, like, you know, someone in the chat is just literally out of control because they are trolls. Yeah, and then you just remove it. They don't come back. But
yeah, it's stupid. Because believe me, I would much rather you guys say whatever you want in the chat, but unfortunately, YouTube had a policy change today. Policy change. That's why this is happening.
Oh, with the
by saying that now the person doing the video is responsible for the comments.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Well, I know.
Well, you can't control someone in the comments. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, now that makes sense. So now that person just keeps spamming to flag you. Wow.
Yeah, that's the point.
Beautiful.
So we'll see. Okay. Anyway. So this back to where we were. This line actually, one of the elements of defamation is that it has to be an identifiable person being defamed.
Yeah.
So now we have an identifiable person. It doesn't mean that their name has to be said. It just has to be, can a reasonable person figure out who they're talking about?
Yeah, the MAGA hat wearing kid is considered,
Right. Let's see, the following false and defamatory statements here.
See, so this is more along the lines of what they're going for. See, the fifth article communicated the false and defamatory just that Nicholas assaulted and or physically intimidated. Because if you can find proof that an article said that he tried to physically harm when he didn't, then you have a case, right? Because now, you know, you've said that this person is, you know, basically what they batter people, they hate each other, I don't know, self-hating, they're misandrous.
Yeah. By the way, anybody who wants to say whatever they want, like you wanna really just go ahead and go ham in the chat with whatever. I mean, you can say all of the stuff that you want. Go on Stream Me. Go join the channel on Stream Me. You can say whatever you want. It's unmoderated. The Stream Me people have said that they're, you know, as long as you aren't harassing a specific person, you can say whatever you want. So go over on Stream Me. I'm happy to have more people watching on Stream Me. That will not bother me. And you can literally say whatever you want. The YouTube stuff is only because YouTube is stupid. So, sorry.
I'm sure that gets you knocked or something, doesn't it?
What?
Just saying YouTube is stupid?
No, I mean maybe.
Oh,
I say it all the time.
Oh, okay. Well.
They are, because you know they started off as free speech.
Yeah, they always do.
They do.
Where did this come from?
I don't know.
Was that the only part of my cookie left?
Yeah. Can you do that away from the mic? It's really, apparently the mic's picking it up really loud.
Oh. I saw someone put crinkle. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
It's that. It's because we have to have the mic for both of us as opposed to normally I'm like right up in there. Anyway, so again, but this is the same thing. Here's what they're doing with this gist thing. And here's the strategy. I don't know of anywhere that this has worked, but it doesn't mean it won't work, by layering in that in 6 consecutive articles, they've kept on with the false narrative. That's why they're going with this defamatory gist. And they're saying that, look, just because they didn't technically state specifically, they were clearly trying to do this. I think that's a reasonable thing to try. I just don't know if it's going to work.
If you claim a narrative, like it's basically a narrative gist is basically what they're getting at. If you claim a narrative gist, and you can prove, like you know, I said, like quotations, headings, news headings, yeah, I think then you have a case. But a lot of this is just kind of,
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm about done with this. I'm gonna go through, guys. I'm getting kind of tired. I've had a long day of being attacked by weebs, trans weebs and LGBT weebs.
no, there's a new letter in there.
Yeah, Q.
Q, is it Q?
QTIAA Craft Foundation or whatever. They've got all sorts of them. They've got LGBTQ plus.
Who's Q? Was that queer?
Yeah.
Is there any other letters I'm missing?
Yeah. It's like QIAA.
What is I?
I don't know.
Intersectionalist?
And then there's 2 A's. Probably like asexual and like maybe I don't know.
It changes like weekly. Like
too much language.
Yeah, wow.
So anyway, there's more students here. I think it's time to wrap up, and what we'll do, we got to go through the chats. Don't get me wrong, the chats are coming. I'm gonna have to go through this. This thing is messy. I don't like the way it's written. I don't either. Apparently, he's got competent counsel. I'm not a big fan of the layout. That doesn't mean it's not effective. I'm just not a fan of it. I do see what he's trying to do by this. Oh, the 7th article references him by name. Let's see. Where? It must just be in the article. I don't see. Oh, Sandman. Here we go. Most of the students moved out of his way, the video says, but Sandman stayed still. Asked why he felt the need to walk into the group of students. Phillips said he was trying to reach the top of the memorial. Phillips said he also saw more than a teenage boy in front of him. He saw a long history of white oppression of Native Americans. What? Why should I go around him, he asked. I'm just thinking of 500 years of genocide in this country, what your people have done. You don't even see me as a human being. So that's the mention of Sandman. Oh boy. I'm not gonna, like I said, this needs some more work for me to actually go through it. I will do a 15-minute update. Tomorrow, we're gonna go through, we're gonna have just a free-for-all stream. It'll be much more fun. We'll have the whole like window will be us, so it won't be, we probably won't have much documents unless we need to bring up a specific thing. But we're gonna talk about Vic Mignogna. We're gonna talk about Jesse Smollett.
Ugh. That dude. Ugh.
The
embarrassment of the black community. Just anytime someone claims to be the gay Tupac, we're done with you. You claim to be the gay Tupac, we're done.
The gay, that's his claim. He's the gay.
Yeah,
Tupac?
yeah. He claimed that he's the gay Tupac.
All right. Well,
wow. Yeah.
There you go. Real quick, a couple questions. Someone said, "What's up with the anime people? What's up with the anime people attacking me on Twitter and stuff like that?" Is because the anime people are mad that I have stood up for Vic Mignogna. I did set up his GoFundMe. I'm managing it. We're got to be closing in on $50,000 raised so far in just 2 days, which is great.
There it is.
Yeah, we'll get to it in just a minute. We'll read it all because we're gonna read through all these chats. So we will talk about where Vic's situation is tomorrow because Drexel here isn't familiar with the whole thing. So we're gonna talk about the backstabbery and the stupidity that's been going on, and we're gonna talk about what gynocentrism, right?
Oh man, there's a lot about that. I did see someone in the chat that said Tupac was the gay Tupac. Yeah, he got his cheeks busted. No, real talk, man. Yeah, he was another one. the gay hip hop industry, for those of you who don't know. Tupac. He was another one of these. Yeah, he was a sex slave for the elites. For those of you who don't know. But yeah, so that was kind of an oxymoronic statement that he made, calling himself the gay Tupac. But we know what that meant.
There you go. All right, there's a couple chats left to do. Sakaki Onsai says, "Nick, you got trolls in the chat. We need a wrench."
Yep.
I'd added Bagel Goose, but I added a couple more. So, hopefully this isn't the new normal. I hate it. I hate having mods. I seriously have I think I've had 2 or 3 total mods the entire time of my channel.
Really?
And I just doubled it. Jimmy Walters says, "No mods, wrenches are cancer." I know, but my mods will be good. They're only going to ban the nonsense. Finally, we've got Mithran Emrys. "Lesbians, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, intersex, two-spirit, asexual, ally, and plus."
What is plus?
Everything else.
Wow, is that what it's come to?
Except for heteros. Right? That's it.
Yeah.
Hell says, "Can we play video games and watch anime tomorrow?" I mean, you can play video games and watch anime. That'll be super comfy for you. We'll be just shooting back and forth. And Mithrin Emmer says, forgot PP, pansexual and polyamorous are also in there.
What letters are left?
They had to double up, so you know they were.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, wow.
So, anyway, well, guys. Oh, you want me to say, "Daddy, no"? You want me to say, okay, "Daddy, no"? I'll explain. Mr. Pilkington.
Oh.
You remember how I told you that he didn't want to be known by his name?
Yeah.
Robert Pilkington.
Yeah, he has like his little stage name or YouTube name.
Yeah, well, that's maybe because the name Robert Pilkington, or a name very closely related to Robert Pilkington, might have just been a convicted pedophile.
Oh.
Who was his dad and his brother, and he was the victim.
So hence, Daddy, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know when I first when people first started like chatting it, and they're like, just say "Daddy, no." So I did. I'm like, oh,
that.
I found out later. And it's like,
yeah. Incest and pedophilia are bad things, man.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too, because we got to talk about minor attracted persons. How dare you call them pedophiles? They're minor attracted persons.
Are they trying to use euphemisms to change the language now?
Yeah, MAPs. MAPs. That's the new pedo. And I'm not joking, they want to make it a protected sexual orientation.
No, I've heard that. Now, look, the first time I heard that
How do you feel about
that? No. Are you serious? Anyone who has kids, or honestly, you don't even need to have kids.
No.
You don't need to have kids. You don't even need to know kids. If someone
you could never have seen a kid in your life.
You could have never seen a kid in your life, and if someone presented something to you, said, "Hey, now this has been going on." Like I said, for those of you who understand what I'm talking about in the chat, if you know like something like Peter Pan, do you know what the actual origin of Peter Pan is?
I don't.
Pita is so Pita, so Peter, and then Pan is in like the god. So the whole Peter Pan, that's why the Oscars is erect.
Yeah.
And erect. So they're Hollywood has been pushing this man boy love thing going on.
Yeah.
There's pedophilia is rampant in Hollywood. So that's why the hypocrisy of the Me Too thing is that these people who are out there getting their cheeks busted in Illuminati sacrifices.
And yeah, I'll do stream me chats, guys. Don't worry. We'll get all of the chats done before the show's done. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, like there are people out there who didn't know about that. Like that there was so much going on with all this Hollywood stuff, and who these actors and actresses. Which is why, if you notice, all of the male actors who were like child actors, what do they always say? They were molested. Every single one of them. Like not there wasn't even one who said, "Oh, I didn't see any of that." Every single one of them said it happened. Right? It's rampant, which is just sick.
When they call it out, they disappear from Hollywood.
Gone.
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman. I was supposed to say Haim. Feldman.
No, Corey Haim disappeared from Hollywood.
He got disappeared in a different way. River Phoenix. A lot of them. Who's Charlie Sheen said, but there's been so many actors and actresses, especially actors, especially the men. The men who are now men who were once boys talk about it. Rampant. Like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
There's the rumor that when someone goes like, "Oh, how do I get how do I become an extra? How do I get on The Walking Dead?" They go like this: "Play dead."
No.
And things happen, man. That's all I'm saying. That's just the rumor.
You get a hot Cosby.
You get things happen. I mean, where's your boy?
Yeah. Get yourself a.
Yeah, there it is.
You get
your boy Bill. You get that lewd. Get them lewds. And I don't want to see you go out like that.
Don't be an extra on The Walking Dead.
Look, Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you,
Elijah Wood. Yeah,
Elijah Wood. Everybody. It's every single one of them, man. Like I know people who have been out in Hollywood and stuff. I've spent time in L.A. and all. Yeah, Leo. They say Leo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire. All of them. Man, if people knew how foul it was, like they wouldn't support any of these like big budget movies.
Yeah,
none of them. It's terrible.
No.
Whole different topic.
Yeah, and we'll talk about. I guess we'll just get tomorrow demonetized by talking about the pedos.
Yeah, right? These dudes are scumbags, man. All these people, these are literally the literal scum of the earth.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next we've got
Get them pudding pops.
Bagel who says, make Marsupial Gamer a mod. I've seen his feet, so I know he's a good one. We'll see. We'll see. No more mods tonight. I'm through modding. Captain Jack said, you guys are cool. Keep up the good work. Nick, listen to those recordings. Will do, buddy. And we've got a couple chats over here, and then we'll wrap it up. Hyphen says, oh, wait, no, that was from yesterday. Do furries hate Jordan Peterson because the fursuit makes it impossible to wash your penis? That was pretty. Here we go. This is the one. Gut Chugger 666 says, I can't wait for the Warhammer stream with Jim. Sweetie Squad rollout. Yeah, I would love to do that. Again, waiting on Jim will have to contact me. I don't have an easy line to him. Although maybe I'd talk to someone who does. Anyways, guys, I think we're done. I think we're done for the night. Come back tomorrow. We're not going to have this long and very confusing document, and we'll be talking about everything. Oh, but yeah, real quick, the weebs attacking me on Twitter and stuff like that, and probably here, are because I'm defending Vic Mignogna. And by defending, I mean I'm not his lawyer. I'm just saying that the guy deserves a fair shot to face his accusers that he hasn't gotten yet. That's kind of a core principle of the American legal system and our American society, is that, yeah, you can accuse someone of something, but when you do, they get to ask you about it and confront you in court when necessary. So I have the high crime. Gut Chugger says, did you ever do the Razor Fist stream, Nick? No, not yet. I need to get in touch with Razor again. And then Buried says, what industry does your friend Drexel work in? Do you want to talk about that or
I work in the travel industry.
Yeah,
I guess that's as close as I can get.
Yeah, not everybody is self-employed and relatively inoculated. So he works in the travel industry, and that's where it goes. Bagel Goose says, I say that because I'm at work during your stream. Okay, I'll see if we can get Marsupial Gamer to be a mod. I know Loyal Logic's a mod, and I'll get a couple other regulars as we go. But all right, guys, thanks for joining. Make sure you check out tomorrow's stream. It's going to be a celebration of 15, 20, and 30,000 subscribers. I'll probably get super hammered on it. Drexel doesn't drink, but he can make fun of me while that goes on.
I can do that.
Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good night. Peace. All that good stuff.
Have a good one, guys.